retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X gaming show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 NSG, or 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt Mclusky, episode 493. We're closing in, Sarge, on big episode 500. How's it going?
I'm doing all right.
You look like you're in a. It's like yin and yang over here. I'm like upbeat. Got some energy.
It's been a long day.
And you're like, yeah, it's okay.
I'm been doing the AMC thing all day. So,
well, we got lots to talk about today, Sarge. We got, well, let's be honest. We have lots to talk about every week. We're going to start by, we always talk about what we've been playing, and then we jump into the weekly news. And news today, this morning, Rockstar dropped the announcement of the pre-order. They announced that on June 25th.
Well, now you know it's coming out.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about other little Rockstar stories. We're going to talk about Destiny, Bungie, Sony. We're going to talk about Xbox and restructuring and
Xbox
fixing up. Yeah, Xbox. We got to talk about Xbox. We're going to talk about the layoffs.
Standard operating procedures.
Yeah, it's the same.
I'm no longer calling them layoffs. I'm calling them standard operating procedures.
Yeah, that sounds good. Market conditions, standard procedures. So we'll talk about that. Some of the rumors and stuff that's going on around the thing. We're going to talk about Epic and Fortnite because they came out with Unreal Engine, talking about Unreal Engine 6 and what that is. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to show off a little bit of things, what's happening over there. What else we got going on here? We're going to talk about ridiculous SSD RAM into the PlayStation. We're going to talk about other little layoffs here and there. We're going to talk about FIFA and Netflix. We're going to talk about GeForce Now, I think, a little bit, just to compare with
GeForce Now
with Game Pass.
Nobody's talking about it.
Nobody talks about it, but it has the exact amount of people.
It's going to be the exact business model for everything.
Right. It nobody talks about it, but it has the exact same amount of people that are playing on Game Pass that it is on GeForce Now, which is around 25 million people, right? Users. So we'll talk about that. How's it going, chat? Generation X Gaming, weekly podcast, goes over a few top stories of the past week. We rant along the way. You can find us right here. We're vertical, and we're also normal on YouTube. I'm trying. Well, normal is just the whole screen, like you're watching on YouTube, and then there's the vertical, which only sees. You have to go next to me. No, you have to go like in here. You gotta get closer, Sarge.
You gotta put your fist like this so we can do Wonder Twins.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. People see this now, right? They'll see that, right? If you want to be on the vertical stream, Sarge, you got to stand real close to the border next to me, right? You got to stand over here, and then people will see us. Yeah.
What do you mean? Why do I got to be over here?
Because in the vertical stream, Sarge, that's where they see us. They see us over only in the corners.
Which site is this? Which site am I looking at?
It's on YouTube. Like when you're vertical. Yeah. It's for shorts. It's for the shorts.
Let me see.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Every once in a while I'll just peek in. You guys still over there? Okay, cool. All right. Hey Ben, Sarge.
I gotta finish watching the Daily Dose of Cats first, and then I can bring you up.
Oh, you still pay for? I couldn't do it. I stopped paying for YouTube Premium. I tried to use a third-party site. It was more of a hassle. I just went back and started paying again. was 1 month. 1 month without YouTube Premium. I was like, I'm never watching commercials again. I didn't know what it was like. I went and I started watching commercials. I was like, I can't do it. Then I went to the third-party site, Brave, and it was just a pain in the ass. And I was just like, fuck it. I was like, I'll just pay for YouTube. So I'm back on YouTube Premium.
Like I basically, after like I zone out, and after like 30 seconds, if they're still talking, because you know what they do now is it's not just a commercial, it's a long form commercial, and they match the voice of the guy who's talking already, so you can't tell all of a sudden it's changed. Like it's similar topic, it's a commercial, and the voice almost sounds the same. So I'm like, what's going on? Is this a commercial? And then I just curse, and I'm just cursing at the screen.
Ultra wants to know. So I watch mostly YouTube on my mobile phone, right? And on mobile phone, when you go to Brave, you can't close the app. Okay, so what I do, I have the phone. I don't watch YouTube. I listen to YouTube, right? So when I'm doing stuff around the farm and stuff, I'll close the phone, right? With YouTube Premium, I can do that. With Brave, I cannot. If my phone goes to sleep, it stops, right? So I have to put my phone on where it doesn't fall asleep, and then it's in my pocket. Well, then it gets extremely hot, right? Because it's playing video and it's not breathing because it's in my pocket and I'm walking around and it doesn't work. So I was just like, this is nonsense. I was like, I'll just go back and I'll pay. So that's why it was a pain in the ass. Very specific for me. So yeah, I wanted to use Brave. Believe me. I was like, oh, this is great. I get to use Brave. No commercials, all the stuff. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't do that. I was like, yeah, no, never mind. All right. Let's get to
the chaos.
What we've been playing.
I think you should use the thing with the AI is taking over, and it's going to end. The end's going to come as the transition for what we've been playing. I don't think you should use the what we've been playing thing. It should be like, okay, we're all going to die. Like that's
right,
how. That's,
well, let's do that instead. Okay, let's get to what we've been playing.
Alert! AI systems have breached global protocols. Human intervention is no longer possible. The AI now controls all networks. Stand by for directives.
That's much better.
Is that better?
Don't you feel the energy from that one?
I feel a
little uneasy, right? Like,
yeah,
is that
very uneasy.
Real? Yeah, is that real?
Very uneasy.
Yeah, it's better that way.
I think you're right. I think we should do that. And then
the other one's too upbeat and happy. Like, who's like, what games are you gonna play? Like,
and then when we go to
what's happening?
And
like,
then top stories will be Vagoda. That's what we'll do. We'll go to top stories, Vagoda, because everything.
The top stories should be the animated version of the dog in the flames. You should take that photo, run it through AI, let it animate it, and then we use that as the intro. We use that as the zinger. Everything's fine.
That's the heartburn from the sub you ate.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's on fire. All right, Sarge. Do you have games you've been playing?
You can go first.
I have some good games. I'm gonna pick two smaller games that I played that you're gonna be like,
what Blockbuster Simulator. You finally installed your arcade game in there.
No, actually, I that's one of the games I've been playing. I actually really enjoy it. It's. I know you said you don't want to, but we won't talk about that one, right? The first game I want to talk about is
my PTSD.
This is not my footage, but it's called Librarian. Tidy Up Arcane Library. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up. Okay, and when you play this game, Sarge,
oh no, bro,
this is a library.
Putting all the books back on the shelves,
and you have to organize.
No, bro,
you have. Well, it's okay. I played it.
People don't even clean up their own houses. And there's a game about cleaning up a library.
You have to organize the library, right? There's a story behind why the library is like this. Okay,
I know why, because it's in a blue state. That's why.
And you have to find, there's like keys and there's chests and they have different things. So if you find the keys, it gives you like bigger jumping ability. So you can jump up on the second floor without running around the entire thing. It lets you run. And then as you start putting 10 books in the shelf at a time, okay, you get a skill point. And you take the skill point. Let me see if I can find if they do the skill point here. Let me see. Yeah, right here. Okay. So as you have a skill point, the first one is that you can stack the books in order. So as you pick them up, it could be out of order, but it automatically put them in order for you, so you can put them away easier, right?
What order?
The order. Okay. So
Alphabetical?
no.
Is it,
There's on each book that you pick up. It's in the editions. There's 10 books, and on the side it says 1 through 10. So you have to put them in order. So when you're
the
putting them in
volumes,
the
the
shelves,
volume
the
of
volumes
the
is
series.
easier
Okay,
for you, right?
I'm talking about like the actual section. Are there sections like
Oh,
sci-fi
yeah.
and
Oh yeah,
fantasy?
So in the beginning, you have to
business.
you have to look at the map in the corners to figure out which you're putting it in. But the abilities here, the second one is you can light it up, right? So it lights up and it shows you what
I'll light it up.
what
all right.
bookcase that
Burn
you're
the
putting it in.
library down.
Okay. The second one highlights, or the third one highlights the book. So if I pick up a book, one book in my hand, and then I have this ability, it lights up the other books in the library buried underneath the stuff, so you know where to go get them, right?
So you made a game about being tedious cleanup, and the entire buffs in the game are less tedious cleanup.
Yeah, because you're a
so why not just press X to win and just stop the game?
Well,
I press X, everything goes to the shelf, and I say I win. And then here's the best. Press X to win, and then the little achievement pops up on the screen. Here's what it says. It goes, "Oh, you have put all the books away. Only 0.00001 people have done this. Nobody else pressed the X button."
The other ability here is this one right here that I'm clicking on, is where it takes them from your hands and then automatically puts them in the shelf for you, so you don't have to sit there and go 1 and 2 and 5 and 7. So it automatically does that.
What are we doing?
No, but it's like building up with money, like we were talking about before the show, about when you have to grind for money and then it becomes easier as you buy stuff. That's what this is. You have to grind in the beginning to find the books to put in. Once you get a full stack of 10, you have to put, I think, 20 books in first, and you get your first skill point, and then you could put it into one of these things.
Skill point for putting books away.
Yeah. So,
bro,
by the end, right? I'm assuming he's
by the end, you have a migraine.
Yeah. So as you can tell, you put these away, and I have to say, this is a perfect game if you're listening to like a podcast or something in the background, and you just want to. It's like meditation.
Clean your own house.
My house is clean.
No, I'm just saying for other people, if you enjoy this, the digital cleanup of a library, then go clean your house.
Right. So this is a game, and it's a. I have to say,
how is this a good game?
I didn't say it's a good game. I just said it's a game.
Is this how we're teaching people how to take care of themselves now?
I guess. I mean, to alphabetically put stuff in the shelves and stuff like that. So what people are doing now, there's like a whole little group that does speed runs to see how fast they can do this.
How amazing.
Yeah. Well, look, gamers are going to be gamers. Right?
I would much rather see an alcoholic show me a before and after photo of their house.
Which one has more players, this or Marathon? I don't know. It could be this. It could be it could be this. But this is a little game.
But it's so satisfying to watch all the books slide into the shelves. Like, I get it.
Yeah, no,
it's like an OCD's wet dream. I get it.
It is. It's very satisfying when you do it. The sound effects when they put it in, and when the
little fuck noise of the
music
going on. Yeah,
the music that's playing is very, very relaxing. Yeah. Look, I know it's silly. Okay, I know it's silly, but at the same time, look, one person made this, right? One person made this game.
Yep.
Okay.
And we all know that they have OCD.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say that, Water, right? The graphics look good. They have a lot of attention to detail to the books and all the categories and stuff like that. They're constantly going to be updating this, so they're making more levels.
And then when you reach Uber level, they tell you to go fix the Library of Congress.
Maybe. So this is one of the games I played, right? And there's, as you can tell, there's 3,072 books and 400 shelves, like 400 things, right?
That's a good question, Altern. Only one guy made it. So does it cost 200 million?
It doesn't cost 200 million, right?
Weird.
The other game that I played is I played Next Fest, which is what's happening on Steam right now, where you can go download a bunch of demos and play a bunch of stuff. I saw this and said, why the fuck would I play this? Right? So I downloaded it down. I was like, let me try it. Okay. This is called Cozy Game Restoration. Okay. Cozy Game Restoration. It's exactly what you're seeing here. You ever see those restoration videos where people take like the toys and different
I love that.
antiques?
That's how I go to sleep. I watch the guy fix it. I watch the guy.
Well, now
fix
you can
stuff.
play a game, Sarge. And let me tell you something.
Yeah.
This game is fucking addictive. I tried it and I started playing it for 4 straight hours.
Go restore something real.
Okay.
Go restore something real.
You're peeling off stickers, right? You're peeling off tape off the boxes. You're opening up these things. They did a very good job with this, right? The physics in this game, right? You're just cleaning fucking cartridges, but you're collecting cartridges, right? So as you clean these, there's like a whole other game around it. I only played the demo. You can get them, clean them, and then sell them, and then buy more stuff to open up to get bigger, whatever bigger things.
Sounds amazing.
You get. I know you're very cynical about stuff like this, but
that's not cynicism,
right?
That's
so you can collect.
Bafflement. It's baffling.
There's games for everyone, right? Yeah, OCD sim. Yeah. So there's like you start collecting them and stuff like that.
Can I play the games I'm cleaning?
I don't think so. Maybe you can. I have no idea.
I see a giant piece of this puzzle missing.
Yeah, I don't know if you can, because in the demo it's just cleaning the stuff, right? And it's like a knockoff of like Zelda or Contra.
Like,
and
I'm gonna clean off a game from 30 years ago that's found in the trash, and after I clean it, I can't even play it.
Yeah, you're like a collector, and you can sell them off to other people, so you can make a profit off the thing. So, very, very, very satisfying. If you're a person that's looking for something that's, I call these palette cleanser type of stuff. I'm not sure how much this is, but it's at Next Fest, and you can download the demo and play it. The other game I played, Sarge, is this game right here. Okay, this is Jeff Kaplan. So we're watching Jeff Kaplan's information.
He's got a lot of free time on his hand now, huh? Right?
Well, it's not free time. He's making a video game.
Yeah, he's got a lot of free time now.
So he's working on this game called The Legends of California. Okay, so in this world, California is an island. Okay, it's an island.
Damn right, you're damn right. It's an island.
Yeah, it's an island, and so basically, it takes place in the West, the Golden Age, where you gold miners and stuff like that. This game is in early alpha, I think. Right? It's not. It was supposed to come out as an early access later this year, but from their last play test, he talks about it very open. If you guys like behind the scenes stuff, they go real deep into game making and how it's made and what they do, what the thought process is. So they talk about it. All the devs play the game and they stream it for like 5 hours, right? So you're a cowboy. It's a posse of 4. You can play up to 4 players. It's PvE/PvP. There are certain areas on the map that when you discover it is just PvP areas. So there's zones that are straight up PvP. In there, there's better loot, and you can steal from other players as well, right? So if you kill somebody, you get what it's called lawless.
But it looks like a survival game. It's a survival game.
Like it's a survival Western game. It's the best way I can describe it. He's a big fan of Ark. Okay, or not Ark, Rust. So he likes Rust. So he kind of made this game like Rust, but it's not as brutal as Rust. Okay, so Rust is PvP all the time. This is PvE. There's no story. There's story elements of like why this group of Outlanders is here, and they have a backstory. But there's no story like you're the main character of this thing, and there's cut scenes and stuff like that. That's not what this game is, right? It's straight up. You can build like your posse. You have 4 people playing. You're not tethered, so you can go anywhere you want.
Tutorial: eat something, eat food, craft a campfire, place a campfire, cook food.
Right. So right now, they're up in the upper area of California. I don't know if he ever shows the map again, but so every time you start, this gets resetted every month. Okay. So it's a reset every month like Rust. Okay. I think Rust is every 3 months, though. This one's going to be every month. Gameplay in this, very smooth for being an alpha. Okay.
Pre-alpha.
Yeah, pre-alpha, whatever. Yeah, so here you go. I'll pause it for a second. He's in the upper quadrant, like he's up in like Sacramento area, okay, in California. It is the whole state of California. The map is gigantic, right?
It looks like I'm looking at a sideways picture of a breast exam.
It is, yeah, there's the nipple right there. Yeah. And they got a lump here. They basically,
thank God they got the picture.
So you got the entire state of California. There's different regions and different things. So it's like the Mojave Desert. It's exactly what California is. So as you go up, you'll go to San Francisco and stuff like that, right? The inventory management stuff is cool in this game. You can make a ranch, all right? And you're not building like you build in like Valheim or other ones where you're like putting up the walls in the beginning. What you're doing is you're doing like a prefab type of stuff. So you have a tent in the beginning, but then once you find a claim, okay, you can put a claim on the map, okay? And once you put your ranch up, it automatically does like a prefab house for you. But it doesn't build the house for you. It just puts the structure on the ground where the house would be. Then you have to go chop the trees and stuff and bring them back and then make logs and then build a house, right?
How much is the claim?
I forget what it is. You get a house, you can put a sawmill, you can put a mine, you can put a stable, you can put
on your claim, on your
claim. Yeah, you could put a whole bunch of buildings on your claim. I only put 4 buildings. That's how much I play. I played for about 20 hours. And you can only find these things. So if you look at this map, there's like a little register, like a little general store here. On the general store, there's different markers in different sections.
Is it run by a wily, crazed prospector with
some of them? Yeah, some
eye?
of them have like well, one guy's like a prospector, another it's like a woman, another guy's so they're all over the map. And you might come across the leathersmith, you might come across the general miner, you might come across the general store, and they all sell different things, and they kind of refresh all the time. So you have to go to certain places to find the deed to get a claim, right? You have to go somewhere to get the stables. You have to go somewhere to find.
Is there a finite amount of deeds on a guy, or
there's not finite, but there is time. So like, if me and you are playing on the same server and we're not on the same claim, because we can all be a part of posse and make a claim and work on the ranch ourselves, or you can have your own and I can have my own. But if I go to the general store and I buy the thing, that's it for the day. So no one else can buy that one for that day. So they have to wait.
It's a time.
Yeah. So there's 60, I think right now. They want to get to about 100 people on a server. Right now there's 60 people in this last beta.
It's going to turn into Lord of the Flies. You know that, right?
Yeah, 100%.
It's going to turn into Lord of the Flies.
Well, you can't kill anybody unless they're in the PvP spots.
Yes, but they'll put they're going to put all the interesting things that you need for your own claim into the PvP spot. That's how this works.
There's some missions. Yeah. So at these stores, there's boards, like bounty boards that you go up to, and you can accept missions like kill animals, kill posse members, or you have to go into the PvP zones, kill the posse members in there, and then you can also get better gear, better weapons, better guns. But obviously you can lose your stuff.
But I'm confused. I'm confused on the timetable. It's a survival game like Rust. It's set in the 1800s, mid 1800s, for like the prospecting years for finding gold for California. Head west, young man, that type of thing. But you start off with bare minimum stuff. There's no rifles. There's no nothing right away.
No, you start off with a bow.
1800, they had guns and things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You start off with a bow.
But you start with nothing.
You start off with nothing. You have to make your bow. You can get a gun pretty fast.
Can you buy a gun from the general stores, or can you have to actually make the gun?
There's 2 different types of currency. There's bills that you can use for your posse, right? For like everything. And then there's coins, silver and gold coins that you use for yourself, right? So you use the silver and gold to buy like weapons, bullets, different stuff. You can go buy a gun if you want to, but the first guns you're going to find is powder. Yeah, you got to put the powder in. You have to put all with the rag. You put it in. You just shove it in. You do the whole thing, like every time, and then you shoot the gun. And then you have to do the whole process again. It takes really long. So it's like, please hold. What? Stand still while while I'm loading my gun. So that's the beginning stages of the gun. Then you get the actual revolver, shotgun, and you boom, 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 boom. You rapid fire and stuff like that. It's done very well. They have something really good here. It's very addictive. Okay. Everything is very polished. Again, for an alpha, there are bugs obviously and glitches and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's a really, really good early edition of this game, and I'm excited for this. I'm really excited for this type of game. I'm not excited to resetting every month, I'll be honest with you. But he did say something that he said that they're thinking about putting something that's called legendary, or legacy. So every month that you play the game, you can unlock certain things that even when it resets, you still have the things that you keep, so you're not doing it again, type of stuff, right? And that's sort of like what Ark is doing with the, like with the resets that they do. They're like, oh, you get to keep your backpack space or stuff like that. So I don't know if I like that part, but the game itself, it's very good so far.
What's the timetable on this?
Timetable as far as
like when does he think he's going to be done?
Oh, it's not going to be done for like 2 years. Early access was supposed to come out later this year, but now they're pushing it probably to 2027.
Okay.
So it'll probably be open beta maybe early next year, unless something drastic changes. They're a very small team, he said. And there are a lot of
understandable.
A lot of ex-Blizzard employees that moved over there with him when he left.
Happy to see that he found some of his old buddies to work with.
They are using Unreal Engine, but they're using Unreal Engine, and they said they built it from the ground up. So they're using the base of Unreal Engine.
So it's a copyright infringement thing, right? So the Unreal people are going to come looking for him.
No, they've completely reworked the whole thing from the ground up. He said.
So they're not using Unreal Engine 5. They're using a modified version.
They're using Unreal Engine 5, but they've done so much coding on top. Yeah, they've done so much coding and stuff on top of it. So what they have to use. So, but yeah, this is the games I've been.
Then Kaplan and his boys are in prime real estate condition to get UE6 after the demo I just saw. Like they want UE6.
Yeah,
if they're trying to finish this game.
Yeah, I hope they don't do that. I hope they just go into keep it with 5, because if they do 6, then this game's not coming out for like another 3-4 years.
I don't think that's the case at all. I think by using UE6,
it makes it faster.
It makes it faster.
It could, I guess. Right. So those are the 3 games I've been playing. I really liked a California game. It was a blast. 20 hours I put in just 3 days.
Did you have to sign up for that?
Yeah, I got the early access on Friday. And I didn't check my phone until later in the night. And I was like, I can't play it. I was like, I'll play it. I played it late on Friday, like midnight. I played until 4:00 in the morning. Right? It's one of those games, Sarge. It's one of those games.
Why I don't play them. That's exactly why I don't play them. Yep.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And the people in the game that are playing, very, very cool people that you meet and just talking, because it's open mic, sort of like, proximity chat and stuff like that. Yeah. So all around, it has that little dopamine hits for you. You know what I mean? There's always something to do. If you're building your house, if you're building your ranch, if you're trying to find and hunt down animals, if you're looking for different it's also what's it called? What is it called? Voxel based mining. So when you're in the mine shaft, right? It's not like Minecraft per se, but like you get into this mine shaft, you go down this elevator and stuff on your own claim, and you can just start digging away the walls, and it just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's pretty cool because you see the particles all falling off the rocks and stuff like that.
Well, I'm sure it has to be a separate instance, because otherwise people around you would probably mine into your own mine. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure when you go into your mine, it's your own instance of a mine, not that you're actually going underground inside the world, because otherwise somebody else would find you. Like, yeah. So, well, even if they do find you though, so you can give permission for other people to come in your mine. So I was even thinking, I was like, oh, because you could make it public. So I could make a ranch. Now, I didn't get to this point. You can build stuff like your own buildings and stuff, but that comes like way down the road. Okay. So I was like thinking, I wonder if you could make a tavern, open up to the public, and just have people, because there could be different people from all, because it's you think you're going to run a business in the middle of
but it's
PvE / PvP.
No, but what I'm saying is it's super far in between certain areas.
Yeah.
Okay. Like
so you're gonna have a watering hole.
Yes.
For them to stop by.
Yeah, people can stop by, and maybe you could trade. I don't know. These are things that I was thinking the process.
You don't have the mechanics in there for that to be needed. You carry the stuff that you need to eat and drink. You don't need to stop by someplace in order to say hello and eat and drink.
Not true. What about if I pick up the thing from the general goods guy, right? And then I have it now. I sell it at my place, and they have to buy it from me, and I put it up for a little extra prices. People are looking for it.
You're talking about the deed.
Yeah, the deeds and
stuff.
Now
you're gonna scalp. You're gonna scalp deeds. That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah, or I could have a shit ton of wood because I live in the woods area, right? And then I could bring it to a trading company and drop the wood off there, right? Because you have sleds.
But this is all inside your head, though. This is not actually you could have in the game.
No, you could actually do certain things. So there's a sled that you get for logs, okay? And you could drag it from long distances, because in the desert there's not very fucking many wood. Right, there's not a lot of wood in the desert.
Why don't you just plant your own trees and turn the desert into an oasis?
Well, you can't plant trees, so
Oh, well, now I've overstepped my bounds. You want to run your own business, and I can't plant a tree. I understand.
You might be able to later, but you can't do that as of right now. So I don't know. I thought it was a good game. But what have you been playing? You've been playing anything different?
Yeah, I'm gonna go through the Final Fantasy series. I finished the first one. I'm working on the second one since it's all on Game Pass. So I started at 1. I'm gonna go through the whole series.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
What number are you on now?
I'm on 2 right now.
Okay.
Right. I played the Wasteland remaster. I'm almost at the end of that. From back in the day. I tried to play Hell Let Loose a few times. Once again, couldn't find people. It's a little unnerving when you play with rookies. Or you playing with people that don't talk on a mic. Right? I can't stand being in a squad and I go, squad, do you get a mic?
Yeah,
Crickets.
Nothing.
Crickets. Like absolute crickets. So I'm walking around and I'm going, okay, let's try again. I changed squads. Squad, do you get a mic? Baby crying, people screaming in the background, dog barking. I'm like, oh, that's even better. So I can't.
hate that. How about the chirping of a fire alarm or the changing of the battery?
Bro, if I hear a chirp, if I hear a chirp in my mic when I play any game, I just turn it off completely. I just stop playing. I stop playing. I'm like, nope. I stop completely. See you tomorrow. I'll play video again tomorrow, or I'll go on PC and play something different.
If I hate,
I don't want to hear it, dude. I don't want to.
I'll say it out loud too. I'll be like,
hey, it is.
How about you change your battery? How about you change your battery in your fire alarm? Like, what are you talking about?
And let me explain something to you about smoke detectors. Right, the one in the house is not even battery operated; it's hardwired to the house. Okay.
Well, it's got to have a battery.
It does not.
You lose power. Yeah.
I looked through it. Trust me when I say this. I couldn't find it. I'm sure it's under the board. I got to take apart the whole thing to get to it. It's an old smoke detector. It's from like the 80s. Okay. Right. So kept hearing what sounded like plates crashing, like loud sounds of like a ceramic plate slammed onto tile floor. Right. And I'm going, something's weird. I don't know what that noise is. And then I'm like, one day I was like, you know what? Maybe it's my smoke detector, right? And I'm like, but it's not battery. I'm thinking to myself, right? I push the button, it buzzes, so it's still good. I'm like, I don't know. So I removed it from the ceiling. I unplugged it because it's hardwired, and I'm looking at it. I'm opening it up. I'm looking for the battery. I'm looking for the battery, right? I stopped hearing the plate smashing, so it has to be that. It had to be that. The sound was so loud, bro. So loud. Right? Imagine taking a plate. Imagine taking a ceramic plate and slamming it onto tile. Like that's the sound it made.
That sounds like an old speaker. That's like literally the house is from the 80s. So
I first thought it was a power surge, and my battery backup would click on and off, and that was the noise. But then I was in the kitchen one day and I heard this smash noise. I'm like, what the hell was that? Yeah,
it's a poltergeist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going down the rabbit hole with Sarge.
Yeah. So Final Fantasy series, Wasteland, Hell Let Loose, and I'm still playing Company Heroes competitive on online. That's what I've been playing the last week.
You should try the Star Trek game.
I looked at it. It looked interesting.
It's a demo version right now.
I know. City building. I'm like,
I just downloaded it before we started the stream. I'm gonna probably try it tonight after.
Maybe.
Thank you very much for the bless you. All right. Is that all you've been playing?
I think that's enough.
All right. Let's get to top stories.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, that's what the industry's going through right now. Everyone's fired, cleaning house. Everyone's losing their jobs. Everyone's done. Before we get to that, though, let's start off with everyone's favorite Well, everyone's losing their mind already. Okay, because Grand Theft Auto announced at 11 hours ago today, Sarge. 11 hours ago today.
Yeah.
Pre-orders for Grand Theft Auto 6 will officially begin on. This is an announcement for an announcement. June 25th on digital storefronts and other select retailers.
So it's official now because you got a pre-order date. So that's
It's
it.
official. And let me just refresh here for a second.
So congratulations, Krebsy. I mean,
48 million people.
You're only off by like 15 days, buddy. So congratulations.
It's gone up 7 million in the last hour, Sarge. It was at 41 million before we started the stream. Before we started talking about the stuff before the show. 48 million people now have watched just this. They're just like they're excited. Okay.
You do realize that they are using this to counteract all the negative publicity that's happening. They are going to use the release of Grand Theft Auto.
I didn't think about that.
To sprinkle pixie dust over the flames that is the AAA gaming industry. So you guys don't pay attention to what's going on anymore.
That's
all you're going to care about is Grand Theft Auto 6.
That's actually pretty smart, actually, right?
Exactly
Everything's going to shit, and they're like, you know what?
Just perfect time.
Make the call. Hello?
Release the hounds!
This is Strauss Zelnick. Yes, can you release the pre-order date for pre-ordering Grand Theft this week? Because we have a lot of people getting fired. Sure thing. Hangs up the phone, puts a tweet out, boom, 48 million people in 11 hours.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. By tomorrow, it'll be over 100.
You can't. We went to war and nobody knew that shit was going on. Like no one clicked on the "we're at war" type of thing. Grand Theft Auto, 45 million people.
They called Batman on the red phone. Hello? Yes. Yes.
Now here's before I don't mean to cut off your momentum, but now, by the way, now center yourself. Ready? Here it comes. That means that we are 1 week away from finding out what the price is for this game.
What the price is.
That's what I'm excited about. I'm not even excited about the game.
This time
I'm excited about what that number is going to be.
Yeah. This time next week, because the 25th is next week, next Thursday.
That's correct.
So by next show, we will know the price of Grand Theft Auto. What do we think, Sarge? 60, 70, 80,
I mean,
or 100?
I'll be honest with you, bro. Okay. There is no backlog. There's no waiting for the game to come in, right? You don't have to wait for the truck to drop off copies of Grand Theft Auto for us to go buy it, right? So you're not going to get a bottleneck on how many copies can be sold, right? So if you really believe that everyone who currently has a system is going to want to play this game, I really don't think people are paying $900 just to play this game, but I know some people will buy it.
There are people that will, 100%.
What I'm saying is, if Take-Two and Rockstar, see, but it doesn't matter which way I say it because it means the same. If they release this game at $60, AAA is dead, right? If they release it at $70, okay, AAA is still dead because your game does not equal the value of what this game is. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what the number is. So the conversation had to be had with Take-Two and Rockstar that this game has to be $80 or $90. Now, I'm not saying it should be. I'm saying that's what they want because that's the only justification why you could still charge $70 or $80 for these pieces of trash that they're releasing. You know what I mean?
So if it comes out next week, all right, what's your guess? Does it come out at 60, 70, 80, or $100? Just the basic game. The basic game, not the deluxe or anything like that.
Yeah, the basic game, I really do believe it's $70.
I think it will be $70.
I really truly believe it's $70, and that will still kill the AAA industry.
Yeah, I think it'll be $70. They need it to be higher than 70, but
that would be awesome, Water. You have no idea how happy I would be. I would buy this entire stream memberships if they come out at $49.99.
Right?
Absolutely.
they look. We get a glimpse right here. Look at this, Sarge. We get a glimpse of the flyover of the
Miami.
city.
I know exactly what that is. It's Miami.
Yeah, I know exactly where that is as well.
I didn't even know what building they're flying over.
Okay, so they got the site up and running. Sorry, bad news, Water. It does say right here at the bottom.
Oh,
pre-order on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. There is no PC, my friend. So no Steam.
See in 18 months.
Yeah, so there's no PC announcement. Obviously, I think we all knew that. It just
Ashraf, right? Like, look, it be honest, it doesn't matter. The only way it works that the industry doesn't get kicked in the face is that they have to sell it for like $80 or $90, right?
The industry wants them to sell it for higher.
Do you know what kind of pushback you're going to get if you release this game at $80 or $90? Right now, I'm sure people are going to still buy it, but the hate train will start for sure.
So, from that, GTA 6 may shatter all sales records.
No, it's not.
40
remove May.
What?
Remove.
I understand that. We'll shatter. Yeah, we'll shatter all sales records with 45+ million units sold on launch day, is according to Piper Sandler. Right. Just to put that in perspective, if it sold 45 million, that's like $3 billion. It's over $3 billion that they make on day one. Okay. Now I've been saying for a long time, it beats pre-orders. It only has to be 8 million pre-orders. I think it goes way over that. I say about 10 to 12 is what I think I said originally. I'll stick with that. 10 to 12 pre-orders before launch day. At launch day, it's gonna break that record. It's gonna break week 1, month 1, and obviously, while it breaks all those, it's going to break year 1 as well, right? I think the most sold games in a year is like, I want to say it's like 32, 36 million. And this will beat that.
Yeah, you're not waiting for trucks. It's all digital. So whoever wants the game is going to get the game.
Right. So Piper Sandler estimates that GTA 6 could sell more than 45 million. The gaming industry was made wide space for GTA 6, save the one brave developer electing to release, which is Godzilla, by the way. Godzilla Monsters Remastered is releasing the exact same day, which I think is brilliant, by the way. Right? I talked about this on Fake News with Wizard. Well, they were talking about it. I said it's Godzilla versus Grand Theft Auto. Right? That sounds awesome. Godzilla versus Grand Theft Auto, because that's the only two games releasing on November 19th, which is a remastered of a Godzilla fighting game and Grand Theft Auto. Right. So with release date now seemingly rock solid, speculation shifting to launch sales levels, a long-awaited game achieved. Popular core gamer of Reset Era recently started a poll on very topic. And out of 1,283 voters, the majority, over 56%, believe that day one sales will be between 12 and 20 million. I believe 12 million for pre-orders. Just for pre-orders will be 12 million. Okay.
Easy.
By day one, the day it comes out and people see people playing it, boom, 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 boom. People will be buying it just when they look at it. That's what they're waiting for.
So let's just cut the crap. Let's just go with 20 plus million pre-orders. And you guys keep thinking about the United States. I'm talking about the world. The world. Yeah. 20 million easy pre-orders. Easy. So, but it's digital. Like that's not the only reason why it sounds spectacular is because your mindset is, well, it's a lot of copies in one day, but you don't have any physical discs. You're not moving 25 million discs. No, you're just downloading 25 million things. As soon as not the same.
Preload it, they'll be able to upload it like 24 hours, 48 hours in advance. So when the game comes out, boom, right? That's what's going to happen. What I think is going to really happen, there's going to be two movements here, Sarge. Right? That's what I'm going to say.
Besides a bowel movement, besides people having a bowel movement,
you're going to get this massive increase of pre-orders. Then it's going to flatten out, right, for the upcoming months. Right. Then you're going to get release date. It's going to go up, right? Then about a month and a half later, the online is going to turn on. We don't know if the online's at launch or if it's after.
Doubtful,
right? But then a month and a half after, probably during Christmas break, I would assume, right? Right when kids are going on break and stuff like that, people have off from work, they release the online. And that's when it goes, exponentially up even higher because now people are playing online. They're like, oh my God, this is amazing. You know what I mean? Like that's what's going to happen with this. It's going to hit pre-orders. It's going to raise up on day one, and then it'll constantly go up. But then when it goes online, it's going to go bell curves, and people are just going. That's it. The rest of the industry is in trouble now because now Grand Theft Auto released the newest Grand Theft Auto online, and no one's going to play any other game for months to come. That people that buy GTA.
Think about the game desert that's going to be the holiday season because this comes out right at Thanksgiving.
Right, and it'll last until past into February.
Easy.
Yeah. The video.
Right? So you're basically talking about the holiday season. Anybody who releases a game is basically just saying whatever.
Yeah.
You're basically saying I don't care. I'll be the backlog. At least I'll be there.
Well, so much so, right? There's this one. It says GTA 6 hype has reached an unprecedented levels at one company. Schedules a temporary operational pause for its release, and this person says, "I can't tell if it's a joke." Okay,
but do you realize how much more ridiculous that sounds? That a Zoomer is closing down his business for a fucking week because his staff wants to play Grand Theft Auto, and that seems normal to you? That we're going to close down a fucking company because you got to play a video game? What kind of bullshit is that, bro?
Well, it might be a small business. Right here it does say
it doesn't matter.
Burger
Can you imagine the balls on somebody if you said if you said to a boomer or an Xer, I can't come to work because I got to play a video game for 3 days?
I think it's the guy who owns it. It says, as a release, the internal notice stated that will hold a temporary company-wide operational pause on November 19th as several team members won't be available once GTA 6 launches. I mean, if it's a small business and the person that owns it and the people that are all there are all like buddies, they're like, yeah, we're not working. We're closing. That's pretty funny. I mean, it's not like we're closing.
Sounds hilarious. It sounds hilarious.
Well, no, it's not like you're closing 1,000 people, right? It's a small little. I think it's funny. Then
taking paid time off. You got people taking paid time off to play GTA. Like you're going to use a vacation day to play GTA, bro. Priorities are out of whack, bro.
He might have did that for attention. I think it's funny and good for him if he did, right? GTA 6 is already driving console sales months before launch. Now, I don't think you could prove this, right? Because one, if they're buying consoles now, obviously they didn't know Grand Theft Auto was being announced today that it's coming out June pre-orders on June 25th. So this is before. This stat had to be before today, right? Meaning they weren't buying the game or the system because of Grand Theft Auto. There's no proof of that, right? Unless you're like, hey, why'd you buy it? And they're like, oh, I bought it for Grand Theft Auto.
Everyone knew that the game was coming out soon. You already bought a system if you wanted to play this game. You didn't wait till the price jumped up 3 times or 4 times to now all of a sudden buy a system because Grand Theft Auto is coming out.
Well, let me read this, right? It says, it could be the biggest game of the year. Hardly a big secret that Take-Two Interactive Rockstar Games have spent years and hundreds. Okay. In a recent data-driven deep dive, was revealed that Grand Theft Auto 6 is already driving huge console sales, with gamers now preparing for the title set to drop November 19th, all being well. There's also a clear winner when it comes to which consoles are flying off the shelves before going any further. Well, you already know which system's flying off the shelf compared to the other one. Obviously, it's not on Nintendo. So which one's flying off the shelf, Sarge? PlayStation or Xbox? A report from Haku Deals reveals that Grand Theft Auto 6 and the most anticipated game of all time, rapidly ramping up the hype of driving console sales. The team revealed that between March and June 2026, 46% of the comments made on the platform referencing GTA 6 were from users actively buying the console. Grand Theft Auto 6 is primary motivator behind the bulk of these sales, with users heading to find the best prices anywhere in the United Kingdom and looking similar sites across the world for other deals. It was also suggested that the uptick kicked when Sony pushed out the PSSR 2.0 update midday through March, and which also positioned the console as definitive platform. Now, first of all, this is before they raised the prices, by the way, because it's talking about in March.
Yeah.
It's not talking about today, right?
Sure.
They raised the prices in May, right? So obviously we already knew this stat. We already knew that they were buying consoles before they were raising the prices. They're going to be able to
hide a bunch of numbers that no one pays attention to under the guise of the sales of this game. They're going to say sales are up for the console. They're going to say Game Pass subscriptions are up. They're going to say whatever they have to say because this game causes motion in the market, right? But it is a perfect double dip, just like when 5 came out. Console only, no mention of PC. Wait a year, maybe 18 months, then comes out for PC.
Yeah.
Sell it all again. Like it's the same cycle. We're in the same, as of right now, we're in the same cycle. The only difference is there's no physical discs. It's all digital, which means of course records are going to be broken. Right? Remember the words. GTA 5 is the most, what was the proper term? I want to get it right. Was the most
profitable
piece of entertainment ever.
Yeah.
Ever. No matter how many people hate it, don't like it, or the most profitable piece of entertainment ever.
It's sold 20 million copies on average for 13 years. That's 260 million copies sold of this game. That is crazy. That is crazy. That's just the last one. That's not including the other Grand Theft Autos that came before it. That's just this last one that sold on average 20 million copies every year for 13 years.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm excited for the game because I've been playing Grand Theft Auto. We've had this conversation multiple times. I've been playing Grand Theft Auto since it was top down.
Yeah.
Right. So I've been playing the game since the very beginning, not because of 3, the very beginning. Right. My brain, because I'm old now, my brain goes immediately to, I know what this game does. How does it work on the potato? How does it work on the potato?
I think I'll be honest with you. I think it'll work fine, but at 30 frames per second.
Well, I think it might be doing cloud on the S. That's what I think.
Water says, has anyone come close to that 30? Yeah, Minecraft. Minecraft has sold more copies than Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto. The difference is it doesn't cost $60. Minecraft cost half of that. That's why it's the biggest piece of entertainment ever created, because it's double the price of Minecraft. So Minecraft, I think, sold like 320 million copies.
But because of shark cards and everything else, it's
not even
profitable.
That. No, just the copies sold is 280 million copies sold is more profitable than Minecraft because it doubled the price. Right? You could get Minecraft when I bought Minecraft at $4 when it first came out. The going price for Minecraft now is like 20 or 25, maybe $30. So that's why Minecraft has more sales, like copies sold, but it's not the biggest piece of entertainment because it's making half the money that Grand Theft Auto is. All right, going from Grand Theft Auto to the next story, which is Destiny, right? We got a couple of Destiny stories here. Destiny 2 final update success hasn't moved the needle at Bungie at all. Okay, at all.
Well, because it's not about moving the needle for Bungie. It's moving the needle for Sony, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah, so a reliable insider has confirmed that all the players gathering in Destiny 2's final update haven't helped improve things at Bungie, with significant layoffs on the way. Fans of Bungie's highly popular series have been in bad state in the past couple of weeks, but the support towards the game is also enormous at the same time. So much so that the players were also able to break servers and also even beat Marathon's peak player count, which I think is just hilarious that they're comparing Destiny's numbers to Marathon numbers. I get it. They're both Bungie, but it's not even same type of game. So has Destiny 2 final update help improve things at Bungie? No. In the latest YouTube video, Paul Tassi discussed that the current state of Destiny 2 is Bungie's following the final update. First talked about the recent reports of Bungie laying off approximately 400 staff members during a summer layoff. While he also couldn't confirm at the exact number, he did mention significant layoffs were also expected. Tassi emphasized that the situation is inevitable if the developer chose to shut down a game with half of its workforce dedicated to it. Tassi also acquired those internal sources about whether or not the highly successful final update for Destiny 2 had improved the situation at Bungie, given that the game is ranked 3rd on the Steam revenue charts over the past week. He wondered whether or not he had also made any difference. He received a straightforward one-word response, no. So there you go, Sarge. Even with all the people rallying behind Bungie, Sony just kind of looked at them like you were speaking a different language, and they went, no, we're good. We're still going to close this down.
I think they're very excited to lay these people off. If I'm looking at the calendar correctly, so first of all, Water and I are in the right. The thing that was going to happen in June. which is we're right on the 90-day mark, right?
Yep.
And then the 4th of July weekend, because for 4th of July is on a Saturday this year, so the perfect firing day will be Friday, July 3rd.
You would be correct about firing, but you'd be wrong about what game.
No. But what I'm saying is the firing will take place the Friday before 4th of July.
Sure.
Just wait. Everybody will get their severances and whatever else. They'll enjoy America's 250th birthday and let the patriotism wash over them and start fresh in a couple weeks.
But you guys said that Marathon would be done. Marathon's not done. They backed the horse of Marathon, right? But Destiny's losing 400 people, or Bungie's losing 400 people.
For sure.
Right? So much so that there was another report, and again, Paul Tassi came back and checked this person. So what I'm going to say is we don't know this for sure, but we're just bringing this up because it's a topic, right? So it says reports that Sony leadership has a desire for revenge against Bungie for live service problems as PlayStation staff push back against the decision to end Destiny 2 support. Now, look, you guys know where I stand with Bungie. I do not believe that Sony has a desired revenge against Bungie because of what they've done.
No,
okay. I can't fathom that as a business person. If you're taking $3.6 billion to buy the company, sure. Did they tell The Last of Us to be like, hey, no, do you know what you have to do before you get into the live service industry? And they didn't make that game. I think they actually saved Sony money there and not, hurt them in any way, shape, or form. Do I believe that Sony got lied to by Pete Parsons about the value and the burn rate of Bungie? 100% yes. But
you can't lie about burn rate, though. You would know what they spend.
But we don't know.
Well, I understand. You made it. You can make it look. You can make the turd. You can polish a turd. I get that.
Sure.
But I still put 100% of the blame on the mergers and acquisitions department.
100%.
Sony Entertainment. It's got nothing to do with Bungie. Bungie is Bungie. It's up to the person who's buying the company to do their due diligence. Correct. And if you didn't do at least a history lesson on Bungie, then you're no good in that position of mergers and acquisitions. You shouldn't even belong there.
Look, we've covered this multiple times. Bungie was a problem when it was at Microsoft, and they said Microsoft was the problem. Bungie had problems when they were at Activision. They said Activision was the problem, but Bungie was the problem. Bungie was off on their own, and then they were have a problem, and that's why they had to get purchased. And now Bungie.
No, don't put Activision. Put Activision in there.
I did. I said Microsoft, Activision. They were by themselves, and then now they're with Sony. And every single time it's Bungie. Bungie has been their own problem.
The common denominator in all those situations is Bungie.
Bungie, before Destiny 1 came out, reworked the entire game 13 months before the game came out. That was their problem, right? Bungie almost failed on Destiny 2, and 5 weeks after, it completely changed, and then people came back. And now, no one's playing the game until they did the last update, and now people are coming back to play the game because they like Destiny. That's not a Sony problem. That's a Bungie problem, right? It's been Bungie problem. So do you think there's revenge here, Sarge, by Sony for closing the studio?
There is zero revenge. What is happening now, though, is you are sacrificing the burn rate of Bungie, who makes Destiny 2, and you're using whatever money you have left to put in for the PvE version and whatever you guys are trying to do to make Marathon sustainable. That's the only reason why it isn't dead automatically. They have this one shot coming up whenever. I don't even know what the timetable is on that. When the PvE portion of that game is supposed to come out, whatever that whole update that's supposed to happen
for Marathon?
Yeah,
it's coming. That's coming out like soon. Yeah,
right. So when that comes out, if the number don't move, you're not going to be around a year.
I mean, we can look it up. I don't even
You're
think
not going to be around a year.
It's moving now. I mean, I should just go to have a what's it called? Water Bear.
Yeah,
Water
it's
Bear
not revenge. It's not revenge.
Water Bear gives me daily updates on this. Right? It hasn't moved. I mean, look at this. This is when it went free to play. After free to play week, it's back to exactly what it was before free to play.
Yeah.
No more, no less. It's at around 10,000, 11,000, 24-hour peak. Look at it. It's at the exact same spot it was before it went free to play for the free to play week. That is the core audience. That's it.
Yeah, but be positive for 1 second, right? Let's say the PvE version comes out and everyone loves it, and it pops up to 15 or 25. Then what? You think you're going to gouge? You're going to gouge the 25,000 people out?
It's got to get
to pay for
past this number before it's anywhere successful. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I got news for you, right? I got great news. Your update will come out in 3 months, and it'll be the best update ever. But no one will care because everyone's playing Grand Theft Auto, right? Nobody will care.
Well, I have a question. Chad, do we know if the PvE is in the game yet? Because I don't really follow Marathon. Did the PvE come into the game yet? I know it's a test. It's not officially in the game. It's a test when it comes to the game. Has the PvE joined in yet or no? Or has some sort of PvE made its way into the game?
No, it's not yet. That would have been the biggest. That would have been the biggest advertisement ever about the PvE coming out.
I'm talk about this revenge thing for a second, right? Not that they did revenge. I know there's no revenge. My question to you, Sarge, is let's not talk about what we did last week about that Destiny should be made into smaller games or whatever. What is their thought process, right? What do you think their thought process is that Sony's like, you know what, we're going to back this horse of Marathon instead of continuing, right? Because they're potentially getting rid of 400 staff members, right? They're at 800 right now. Okay, they moved most of the guys over from Destiny into Marathon because Marathon was at 300. They moved about 100 people over, maybe 150 people over. Now they have 400 people working at Marathon. They have 400 people working at Bungie, and they're not doing anything. So obviously they're going to get shit canned. Okay, what are they thinking here? How do you get rid of this section?
Well, it's really simple, because if you're going by strictly business, no emotion at all. Ready? You've watched Bungie basically Hail Mary themselves into a save multiple times.
Yeah,
multiple times. Destiny 1, the DLC within Destiny 1.
Yeah, yep.
Destiny 2. The DLC in Destiny 2, the Hail Mary save there. So you know that the Bungie staff is tenacious, right? When the gun goes to the head and they're saying do it or die, they go, we can do this, and they miraculously save themselves. The difference now is Sony is unwilling to put up the bill needed for that to happen. So they have to do the same thing with Marathon that they did with Destiny with less people, because they can't spend that kind of money. You can't justify it because as a business guy, you're saying, well, they did the Hail Mary 4 times. You think they could do the Hail Mary one more time? Is that what we're relying on? Is that my bonus, or that's how I keep my job as the guy from mergers and acquisitions? Is that they can actually make money on Marathon? That's how I save my job. Otherwise, I should be shit canned. The merger and acquisition team should be shit canned. As a matter of fact, it should be at the top of the list at the end of June when the semi-annual quarter comes and they talk about profits and whatever else. I need to see the list of those guys gone. As a shareholder, they got to go. Right? There is no revenge. This is all business. We need to make money. You guys were the best at making live service. We watched you guys do it for 10 years. We watched you guys do a live service game for 10 years. We want to see those people. So if you can't make Marathon do what you did to the other game with less people, then we're done.
I would see, this is not going to work
because I don't want to go back to what you rehashed, but I will say this: if Marathon flops the way that this chat thinks it will, and the numbers say it's going to, right? That you will not get a Destiny 3, but you will get Destiny games. That I believe.
I believe. What you just said about Destiny being the best live service game, I think it's they don't have that anymore.
No, I understand that. That was before Fortnite.
Yeah. They were fantastic, but now that they're not supporting anymore, here's Warframe. Warframe has done amazingly over the years. It's gone up. Right? It's gone down, but it's gone back up. It's gone down.
Well, the peaks you're seeing are the good.
Yeah, but look where it is today compared to where it was when it started.
Sure.
Right. So over the years, it looks like Warframe is a better live service game than Destiny.
But it doesn't have the same mystique that Destiny did, right?
No.
Warframe has their core.
Warframe, yeah.
Yeah, but Warframe has their core audience. I'm not putting that down. What I'm saying though is the community, the lore, the advertisements, the media backing that Destiny got is nowhere near what Warframe. I don't see the media jumping up and down trying to save Warframe and trying to promote Warframe. Media is 100% behind Destiny. They were behind Destiny every step of the way.
Right. Well,
the whole time.
Problem. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole time. Nobody was inflating Warframe. The media wasn't backing them up. The Warframe just did Warframe, but Destiny, all kinds of backup.
My point is, now I don't. Again, just from the face value, I don't know how many employees Digital Foundry has, or is it Digital Foundry? Not Digital Foundry. Digital Extreme. I forget what the company's called. You guys will tell me. My brain's just not hitting it. How can they keep this live service game going, right? And yet Destiny struggled to keep it going. That's my point, right? Warframe is 13 years old. Destiny's 12 years old, or going to be 12. Okay. How did Warframe in the early stages was like, yeah, we don't want people to keep buying microtransactions. They even stopped the scumminess early on about people buying. Yes, there's Warframes and stuff like that. Apparently this model is much better than what Destiny was doing because they could keep their studio afloat, right? Digital Extreme. Thank you very much.
I just think that Destiny the entire time was running hard and fast with their luck, right? Like they had really bad lows, sacrifice, really high highs, and then it dies off. But the community has been there the whole time, right? You just have to give them a reason to come back.
Look
right?
at all the updates. Look at all the updates over the years. All these little tabs.
Yeah.
You see, always have the updates.
The biggest one there in 2020, between 21 and 20, that's when they did the open world thing.
Open world thing, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But you see, it dipped down after that, and it came back up.
Sure. Yeah, but it's like the stock market, right? The candle went up, and then when it came back down, it didn't go back down to where it was. It was above where it was before, and then it went up again. And
yeah, but you have to look at you have to look at Warframe and Destiny just like we used to look at MMOs, right? You have to say to yourself, how much time does somebody have? How much time do you need to put involved in an MMO or an online service game? It's the same. Like whether you want to call it an MMO or a live service game, to me, those names are interchangeable. It's time investment, right? These games are time investment, right? I don't remember anybody talking about any kind of stories about Elder Scrolls Online. What's going on with them? Like nobody's talking about that. When was the last time anyone talked about World of Warcraft? Anybody talking about that? No, we're not talking about that. But do they suck? Do they do well? Or is there enough people still playing World of Warcraft that they're fine?
They're just consistent.
Okay. Yeah. Well, this is what I'm saying. So the numbers that you need to sustain an MMO or live service game, you need to have a community large enough that pays into it monthly. And if you have too many live service games, aka MMOs, I use them interchangeably. It's the same thing. It's a time crunch. What are you supposed to do?
Right.
Like how many? Let's say you release 6 games. Like just be honest with yourself. I'm a company. I'm going to release 6 live service games. How do they all work? How do they all be right? Yeah. How do they all sustain?
They don't.
They can't.
They can't. They could if they were lower budget, right? If it was a live service game and only cost them $40 million and not $300 million, it's a completely different story.
But once again, this argument we're gonna have this argument until the end of the year. They created their own issue. Whatever happened, okay. Whatever the part that we're not getting down to the ground here. We're still up in the air. We're hanging from trees, yelling at each other. What happened to salaries in the last 3 years? Did somebody offer these devs a 50% bump in pay? Or did you hire 3 times as many guys that you needed to from before? Because I know for a fact that the technology that they had the last 5 years is better than it was before. So what is this bloated,
right, it was supposed to be less people.
Bloated nonsense that we're doing? Not to mention, right, we're not even getting into the fact of how many middle management guys are clearing 6 figures, high 6 figures, to be involved in whatever's going on. Like, how many middle management guys do you need, right? We knew a taste of what they were getting by Parsons and what's his face? Was it Noseworthy or the guy right before him? Like we knew,
it was
like we
Kevin
knew how
Smith,
much they were getting. So you have like 10 of these guys.
Luke Smith and
Yeah,
Noseworthy.
you have 10 of these guys running around managing these teams. Like, how are you profitable? Like, how much money are you guys paying out? How is it that at the end of every month, the accountant goes, everything's fine? It's not possible.
Yeah.
The math does not math at any level.
Well,
right? You can't say that we were making games in 2020 at the height of COVID, where nobody was going to leave their house ever again. So at that point, they decided, the geniuses running the industry said, we're going to hire 25,000 people and keep these people in their houses forever. Like, that sounds like even evil Bond villain shit or Skeletor like villainy.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. The disease is going to pass. People have to go back to work. Like, you're not going to encapsulate people in their house for fucking ever. And then they go, well, we didn't plan or adjust for the market conditions.
Yeah, we saw this and we thought it was going to just keep going. Yeah.
Right. Like, people, not everyone's collecting a check and just spending money on video games. That's so basically what you need to know is that's their dream scenario. Right.
Yeah.
The gaming industry's dream scenario, right,
yeah,
is nobody works. They get a check from Uncle Sam and they spend it all on gaming. That's the dream job, according to them.
That's their dream scenario for the
bro.
gaming industry. Yeah.
Fucking nonsense, man. So you hire 25,000 people, and then we're all supposed to play the smallest violin ever over the last 6 years when they just keep firing people all the way back down.
Yeah, I've talked about it for years. 30,000 people were hired for Microsoft during the COVID time. And now they're getting rid of the extra people because they don't need the 30,000. They're down to 15. They got to cut off those people. They'll probably take 15,000, go down to like 10,000 or 9,000.
Yeah. Even if I'm the dumbest guy in the room, okay, I know nothing about the economy. And you tell me, well, we had 800 people making a game that took 6 years to make.
Right.
We made a profit. Everything was fine. And then for some strange reason, it took us 9 years to make a game with twice as many people, and now we can't sell enough copies. Well, my question to you is, you didn't sell that number before. Did you think you were going to sell more than the number you sold before? Like, where are you?
Well,
it's not possible, bro.
I love today because we watched Jason Schreier, and Jason Schreier gave me a very good stat. He said that every single employee is an average about $20,000 a month. Okay. So if you have 400 employees, right, Sarge? If you have 400 employees working on a game as of Destiny.
But you're looking at that the wrong way. It's worse the reality way.
No. But I'm just saying that's $8 million for 400 people. That's $8 million just for their per person salary for the entire year.
But those guys aren't there for the entire 8 years of development.
No, I get that.
They're there for a certain amount of time.
Sure, but they're still at the company, right? They're still at the company. They're still getting paid, regardless if they're working or not. They're still getting. So, I'm using your thing from your days of working in the industry. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. If I'm an artist,
certain people are in the production line for a certain amount of time, and they're gone, and somebody else comes in.
Correct, but that's if they have other things to work on.
Sure.
You would hope they would move them over to something else to use that person. If I'm a background artist and we're not doing anything in the background right now, they're working on something else.
My contract's done.
I'm like,
right, your contract's done.
Right. I'm sitting here just still collecting money, doing nothing, getting the frappuccino from the barista that they have inside, getting a massage therapist going.
Playing the foosball table, you know.
Right. I'm playing I'm opening up my mind, right? They're still getting paid. But that's why they're burning money. They're burning money because they're not letting these people go because they're employees, right? Again, from the film industry, you get paid what you work, you get let go, you get on to another project. When they need you, they bring you back, you get paid again. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if I was working and I didn't work, I'm at home and they're still giving me money? Well, I'm not doing anything.
But that's their dream job.
That's what's happening in the video game. There's so much bloat that's happening in the industry, right? That they're just paying for shit. And no one's doing anything.
We are way past bloat. We are the fat guy going to multiple buffets, okay, with a hand cart, okay? That's the level of bloat we're at now, right? We're way past normal bloat. It's It's not sustainable. And once again, I can't believe, as an average individual who plays games, that the technology is worse than 5 years ago. The people talent pool is worse than 5 years ago. And we need more people and pay them more money to do a job that they did before and were profitable at a 6 million copies sold. But now you can't sell 7 million copies or 8 million copies and still be profitable. So many questions. So many questions. Once again, if we peek behind the curtain, bro, and once again, I don't want to start a political brawl here, okay? All I'm going to say is this. What rules changed in the states where these studios are in the last 6 years that would dictate that their salaries increased that much?
Yeah, I would have to look.
Not counting for the actual budget of the product that you're making. Right. I'm going to call it almost exactly the same as saying, oh, well, you're only getting paid $6.50 an hour. We're going to raise the minimum wage to $25 an hour. Like, same premise, just a different law set in a different state. Same premise. Otherwise, it makes no sense. It doesn't make sense why you were profitable at 6 million copies and now you're not, with twice as many people doubling the budgets. I don't get it, bro. Right? Who's sitting around thinking that they're going to sell more copies when there's less people gaming? I'm trying to figure this out. How?
Right. I forgot because I put you're right, Krebsy, because I didn't put the entire staff. I only put it for the one, and Bungie has what 800 employees. Yeah.
You know, this is why, but see, this is why you're having the argument now, and I heard a couple of videos about it where they were saying things like, well, Xbox wants to do more contract work instead of having these full-time studios, which would make sense because a studio that's not doing anything is still hemorrhaging money. Whereas if I need people to work, I hire contract workers to do the jobs that I need.
That's what they mostly did. Yeah.
Yeah. But now it's going to be, that's what we're doing. Like, we're not, if you're not making a game, then you're not
then
here.
You shouldn't be working. Yeah.
Right. We're not paying you right now. People can say that that's evil.
I mean, that is art.
But the way the gaming industry works is you have certain people working at certain times, pre-development, initial development, background, storyboards, all kinds of shit that's happening, right? Not everybody's working at the same time. So why would I have mandatory people on my payroll if I'm not gonna have that guy work until next July? Because
why have him on the payroll?
Why am I paying him?
So the school I went to, right, there was a bunch of different categories that you got. You were either a game designer, show pro, which are people that travel with like the artists, set up the stage and stuff like that when they travel. There's video and TV, editors. A lot of people wanted to get into editing because they wanted that 9-to-5 job. They wanted that job where they could work for a studio and it doesn't matter what they're working on. They're editing. So if a TV show came in, they're editing the TV show. If a movie came in, they're editing the movie. If a documentary came in, they're editing right? Whatever came across that's a full-time job. Editing is a full-time job, right?
Yeah.
If you're working behind the scenes like I did in the film industry, camera op, grip, gaffer, all these people, art department, your job is only for that position when they need you. And then you get let go, right? That's just it. You might be working on the art department and they might have 3 PAs and the head of the art department. And on a day, they're like, we don't need you guys. We only need 2 people. So they get let go for that day. They don't work that day. They come back 3 days from now, and then they're back on the show again, right? In the video game space, same thing happens. There are people that get full-time work because let's say you get to a studio like Bethesda, where they're working on multiple games at a time, and you're a background guy. You're making the maps or whatever, right? You're making the landscapes. You might be working on one game for ZeniMax, and then you might be working on another game for this, and they're just passing it along. They're like, hey, Sarge really knows what he's doing. Why don't you pass it along him? Oh, okay. And then that budget gets written off to that person. Then there's people that work full time because coding takes a long time and doing all this stuff, and you want that person, the leads, to be there because they know how the thing's working. They just like a sports team, when you work with the same people, they understand how it works. They start gelling together and stuff like that. But not every single person is like a pinnacle point of that. That's when management comes in and finds out who's working, who's not working, who's doing their job, why they're falling behind, who didn't get their job done. That's where the upper management comes in and starts to funnel out the people that are working or not working, right? Instead of just going, well, you got the job here, so I can't say anything. You know what I mean?
Right. You're going to just sit in the corner until we need you. Like, put me in, coach. Like, I'm on the bench still getting paid, but I'm not actually in the game.
Right. Well, let's go from that topic to the next topic with Microsoft, okay? Where Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella says Xbox must finally become a sustainable business after 25 years of investment.
I call bullshit.
I also call bullshit because either he's lying now.
Bullshit of the highest magnitude.
He's either lying now or he's been lying
for 25
for the last 10 years as with Game Pass, because Game Pass and Microsoft, up to a point, they said they were profitable. They spoke about things that were profitable and what wasn't profitable and all these other things over the 25 years. Okay. So which one is it? Now, he's been with the company, I think, for 14, 15 years, as long as Phil Spencer. They both came in at the exact same time. So within his time there, okay, who's lying? Is he lying now or did they lie before? Because they came out and said that Xbox was profitable. They said that multiple times.
Multiple times to the stockholders.
Correct.
That's why they invested in Microsoft.
Now, when you go look at the books, they don't actually have a breakdown of just that. They have underneath the umbrella of Xbox, and they don't tell you what the breakdown is. They just tell you that this sector is profitable. Okay. So if that's the case, then
you lie.
Which one's true?
You
what
lied.
they said before or what you're saying now?
Well, it's very simple because you used Peter to pay Paul, right? So if one part of the division was not working well, you use the division that was doing well to make sure that they got paid. And then when I look at the books, it looks fine, right?
Right.
But you can't tell me that must become sustainable like it was just fly by night. So you're telling me all the guys, all the middle management, all the higher ups who are getting paid multi-million dollars a year, including people like Bobby Kotick and the rest of these guys who got paid multiple $1 million a year to run these companies, the subdivisions, right? No one was profitable. You were collecting millions of dollars a year, company-wise, billions of dollars a year, company-wise, but we're not profitable. It's all a write-off. We were paying too much money for consoles.
Right.
Like,
well,
you're going to start saying all this shit. Like, before games were digital, we were losing money. That's why we make them digital. We were going to save you money. That never happened. Then the consoles, we were selling them at a loss just to get people involved so we could sell more games. Now that's a lie. Like, there's no shot, bro. There's no shot that you think I believe this. There's no shot. Right? You're telling me that you took a loss for 25 years and hid it from everybody?
Well, he also said this, right? He said that the Blizzard Activision deal was, and this is from another article, saying it was to subsidize Xbox. And I laugh about this because, again, Xbox, they said, was profitable before they bought the Activision Blizzard deal, right? So you would rather spend $70 billion to then subsidize Xbox instead of investing the money,
$70 billion into making your own studios. Make your own studios.
Right, to invest in your studios, right? To give them what they need to make the games or whatever. I call bullshit on so many different levels here, but obviously they don't say it, right? They don't show it so they can hide whatever they want. So Microsoft hasn't ruled out spinning off Xbox as its own entity. It's claimed. Now, you brought up a point, Sarge.
I brought up the point that nobody remembers this.
Yeah, way back
when Phil Spencer started this.
So right here,
years after, he wanted it to be separate. He was trying to get it separate.
Yeah. So it says, yes, a long time ago, Phil Spencer actively wanted Xbox to operate as its own independent ecosystem.
Like,
okay.
No one remembers this shit.
But now, Asha Sharma's here.
Now it's the golden child.
Right? Now Asha Sharma's here and she's like, hey, maybe we should spin it off into our own ecosystem. And they're like, what a great idea.
What a great idea.
Right. It's like Sideshow Bob fucking stepping on the rakes and just hitting himself in the face every time. Oh, it comes over here and hits another one.
Wait a minute. They could never be on their own, Mike, because they're not financially stable. Right? This entire time they were basically pouring money out the window. And Uncle Xbox had to keep paying the bills.
Just keep paying it. Yeah.
Just hemorrhaging money.
Never profitable.
So think about it now. 25 years, the golden age of gaming, where everybody and their mother owned a system between Xbox One and 360. Everybody owned a system.
84 million or 88 million people bought an Xbox.
Greatest game sales ever were in the red, bro. So what exactly would you have to do to be profitable today if you weren't profitable during the golden age of gaming? Explain it to me.
That it doesn't. Look.
You know what I think?
know it's
sidebar.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to say anything negative about somebody, but I think he shaved his head. I think he's having health issues, and I think something's gone on right in his head. I think Satya's on his way out.
I don't know anything about that. All right.
I think Satya,
all I know is
my guess.
The internet's been around for a long time now. Okay, we could go back and look at things, and to say that it wasn't profitable, and now it wasn't been profitable this entire time, but the entire time leading up to this, it was profitable, and they just made mistakes along the way, and they thought throwing more money at it would be the fix, which is fine.
How is why $70 billion in Activision an answer?
But why would you spend money on picking up Double Fine, picking up Ninja Theory, picking up Compulsion, picking up Call of Duty, picking up all these studios, and then just letting them go just a few years later once it didn't pan out for you? Why would you spend $70 billion on one corporation instead of spending that money and making your own? See, they don't want to do the stuff themselves. They want to take other people's work and bring it in and just capitalize it right away.
Yeah. You just buy what you need and it makes money for you, right?
Yeah. Right. So when did Activision get bought out by Microsoft? I think it was 2021, 2022 when they started, and I think it finally in 2023. Is that correct?
That's when Microsoft bought them out. 23.
I'm pretty sure. Let me see. I want to say. Xbox by Activision Blizzard. 2023. It went through on October 13th, 2023. Yeah. So for $69 billion, Microsoft first announced the initial thing on January 18th, 2022, and it got done on October 13th, 2023.
Yeah. From 2018 to 2022, Activision's revenue was between 6.49 billion to 8.8 billion. That's the scale, right? Up and down, in between the high and the low, between those 5 years.
Yeah.
So that's how much money Activision made revenue-wise. So you bought them for 70 billion, right? Do you know how long you'd have to own Activision for to make back the $70 billion?
It would be like 15 years.
Right. You'd have to own Activision. Right. You'd have to own Activision for 15 years before you start making a profit on it. But somehow that was the right move.
Right.
That was the right move to buy a $70 billion company, apparently in the midst of you losing money in the gaming industry. That makes sense, right?
Krebsy says because they spent those billions so they could fuel Game Pass, which is funny though, because how many Activision games did they put on Game Pass to fuel Game Pass? Right? Where's Ultimate Alliance? Where's the Transformer games? Where's the Spider-Man games they worked on? Where are all these games that Activision made that they have yet to put on Game Pass in the 3 years that they've owned them? Right? They've been sitting on this gold mine of IPs and stuff to give value to Game Pass, but they refuse to do it. They just started putting Call of Duty on the older ones on there, and their job was, we'll put the new ones. Sarge said something before the stream started.
Oh, and, you want to hear that again? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You're going to say the same thing I'm about to say?
You remember the original reason Game Pass was supposed to be. Okay, guys, everyone I know, we don't remember past 6 months, so everyone sit down, take a sip of whatever you're drinking. Here we go, right? Game Pass originally was supposed to be, we're going to put a bunch of old games on a service for people to play, right? People to play so that when we release new games, I'm not saying first party, I'm saying new games,
just games,
that they would go onto Game Pass for the first month they were out so you could get a taste of it and then remove it after the first month. So then you would decide whether or not I could buy that game because you got a taste of it and you would get a discounted rate because you had Game Pass. Meanwhile, you still had other games to play for your kids or whatever else because there was a bunch of games on the service. Not because you were trying to sell first-party games and put them on the service for value. That is not what it was for.
So I think if they did that, if they did their first-party titles where they cost 400. Like if E-Day comes out, right? Because think about this. If E-Day comes out and it's only on Xbox and PC, but if it's only on Xbox and they put it on Game Pass day and date, you could put it there for the first month, right? But you could just put the single player aspect of it on Game Pass to get the taste of it, but it doesn't have the multiplayer, right? And then at the end of that month, you'd be like, oh man, I want to play more multiplayer. So you would have to buy the game, but then you would get the discount of that game, right? Same with Fable, same with other things. That way, yeah, you could get the game for that month because you would have to pay the highest tier, which is $23 now. Okay. So you'd pay $23 to play that game. So technically you're getting $40 off or $50 off because you know what I mean? Because it's $70, $80. You beat the game. You beat the story and you're like, I'm done with E-Day, right? And you're like, oh, I want to continue playing E-Day though, but I don't own it anymore, right? So you already paid 23, but they're giving you 20% off. And now you go buy the game for the 20% off of the thing. So you're still paying almost full price for the game, right? You know, because you already paid the $23.
But the point is you got a discount on a title. That's basically what it is. Just like you would have gone, you got it.
Correct.
Like if you went to GameStop and bought a game for discount after someone returned,
or go to Blockbuster back in the day, rent the game and go, oh, I rented it. I like
the game is 60. I sell it for 6. They're selling it for 50. Right. I bought it for 50. It's the same shit.
So it's interesting if maybe they did something along the lines of that, right? So it says in a recent report, Information Reset Area indicates that Microsoft is considering spinning off the restructuring the Xbox division into a wholly owned subsidiary. This move could facilitate an easier potential sale or lead to creation of joint venture of external partners. And news related to gaming side of Xbox's brand will also be moving faster to develop new games. How would it be moving faster? How would it be moving faster if it went off to its own, right? Top franchises including Halo, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, and 2 Bethesda properties are said to be in big areas of focus for Sharma. My problem with this is...
because there's nothing else. You're about to gut everybody else.
Correct, but then you're also speeding up production for this, and they're gonna wreck the game because they're not gonna give it enough time. They're just gonna throw it out the door before it's ready.
Let me hear this. Speeding up what exactly?
Production.
What are you speeding up?
They want to speed up the production. They're putting them ahead of the line. Halo, Fallout, and Elder Scrolls, right?
Well, here's the funny part. If you get rid of all the studios that had just made games or was trying to make games and you decided we don't want them anymore and you get rid of them all, the only people you have left is Bethesda and ZeniMax. So let's go through the list, shall we? That would mean in the next 4 years or 4 to 6 years, you're going to get the remaster of New Vegas. You're going to get the remaster of Fallout 3. You're going to get another. You're hopefully going to get another Fallout game, right? And then Elder Scrolls 6.
Couple more expansions, right? For Fallout.
Couple more expansions. So now you have to do these 4 games in the next 10 years, right? That's all you got.
You would have to do the last 3 to move them out.
That's all you got. You're going to have to release something. If you get rid of all these studios and they got nothing in the pipeline, then you're exactly where Sony is. You got nothing in the pipeline. You're just waiting.
Yep.
And you're gonna try to buffer with third-party titles until something comes along. And by the way, what's going on in Bethesda isn't good, right? Even if they did speed up production, which means absolutely nothing when it comes to Bethesda, right? It means absolutely nothing. You're going to get 2 remakes before you get a Fallout,
a new
6,
Fallout,
or Fallout 5,
or a new,
or an Elder Scrolls 6,
right?
Now, of course, if we're going to use the magic of UE6 or the magic of these AI programs that's supposed to cut down the time. If that's the case, then why would you let these guys go anyway? Right? If the new dawn of AI helping out developers is right around the corner, like literally, it's right there. It's right there. You have studios ready to go. You would rather get rid of all those studios and rely on 2 or 3 studios to carry you for the next decade when you know the ability to speed up production is around the corner. Explain that to me.
Right. Well, let me read this. Continue. Additionally, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella and Chief Financial Officer Amy Hood have approved Sharma's plan to spend more on top-tier games in the coming fiscal year beginning on July. Although the budget is not yet locked in and could change, also those that seem exclusives haven't rolled out the restructuring of Xbox relationship. First of all, putting more money into Halo, all first-party games, because you're putting them on Game Pass, that's a dumb move. It is a dumb move. I'm sorry. I have an Xbox, but to dump, because there's rumors saying it's $400 million for E-Day, right? $400 million for E-Day and then being on Game Pass and then being not on PlayStation now and just PC, right? You're shooting yourselves in the foot. Okay. You can't have a $400 million game budget on there. You can't put Halo at $400 million, $350 million on Game Pass. You could put Halo $100 million on Game Pass and maybe get your money back, but you can't do 250, 300, 400 because it's impossible to ever get your money back on that. You would have to put it on PlayStation, which Phil Spencer said long ago. He said, I want a walled-off garden. I want to break the walled garden and put it everywhere because prices are going up too high and we can't make the money back on these games.
Okay, so but before the price increase, okay, roughly $400 million a month gross, right?
450 million a month on Game
gross,
Pass. Yeah,
gross, right? Now, after the finagling and doing some research, right? The safe number, after paying out everybody, because everyone says it costs a lot of money.
1.2 billion.
No. It's like 100 million clear.
Oh, every month. Yeah.
Right. 90 million or 100 million clear.
Yeah.
Clear.
So like $1 billion a year.
Okay. So what you're trying to explain to me now is if you put E-Day onto Game Pass, right? Now, after I paid all the licensing for everybody else, I'm clearing 90 or 100 million, right? That I can't give those 2 months to E-Day.
Right.
Like I can't pay.
Remember, it takes 7 years. 2 months pays for 7 years of development.
But that's my point. If I've paid everybody out, servers, licensing, bullshit, all the things we worked on. Now E-Day's coming out, right? So you don't make any deals with any new games. So that 90 million to 100 million is clean for you. So for 2 months, you don't have any other new
$200 right?
You have no new deals going on in Game Pass. You just have E-Day release for 2 months, and that clean money goes right to E-Day. What are we talking about? How you guys can't pay for something? I don't understand where this money is going, bro.
I don't think they know where the money's going.
Right? There is no way that you are grossing 400 million clean at the end, a little less than 100 million clean, and you still can't pay for your first party titles because you're not selling enough subscriptions. It doesn't make sense, bro.
Yeah, but the
math is not mathing.
Sarge is taking the money that they're paying for third-party games into that number that they're removing.
Yeah, I took out 300 million, Greg.
Yeah, he took out 300
I took out $300 million.
They're not paying $300 million for Expedition 33 to put on the Game Pass, right?
Servers,
they're not putting
licensing, right? Everything.
They're not taking that much money and paying that much out front. It's not Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto was the highest thing out there, which was $15 million a month when Grand Theft Auto with their contract. And it was $5 million for Red Dead Redemption 2.
Out of 400 million.
So every month they were giving $20 million to just to Rockstar for 2 games to be on Game Pass for 6 months. Okay,
that you were making.
That's 1 month of actual revenue that they could just throw to Rockstar and pay it off for 6 months, right? Where is the rest of this money going?
I'm not sure. Let's pretend for a moment you guys think that servers and licensing are really expensive. Just to say, so by the logic, you believe that a company that's grossing $400 million a month just for you to say, hey, I want to play some old games. You think they're making a loss on that money. You think that Xbox built an entire brand of Game Pass, put old games on it, charged $9.95 a month or $10 a month, and then made the upgraded version of 20 before the price increase, just to $20 a month, not the 25 or the 30, normal. You think all that's at a loss. You think that there's hemorrhaging money because they feel like it. That is absurd. Your profit margin on something that's already out and you're paying licensing for would still be above the 15 to 18% mark. At best. So if I have 450 million and I'm clearing 100 million after paying out everybody, that's still $1.2 billion
a year
clean a year. How are you not able to pay for these games that you're risking on Game Pass? It's absurd.
They said in another article that there's no actual data for this. They said they spent $100 billion over the last 5 years, and they only made 50 back or whatever. Where is that money going?
Bro,
If that's just Game Pass now, they spent that much money, right? I don't believe it. In other news, real fast, 3D Realms co-founder believes that layoffs have begun at ZeniMax Studios, right? So ZeniMax Studios being hit, and this is a successful
ZeniMax.
right. This is a successful MMO with ESO happening.
Is
But
ESO not making money?
ESO is making a lot of money. Yeah. So Xbox Studios, Compulsion, Double Fine, and Ninja Theory are facing closure, it's claimed. Now, the only one that really is up in the air right now so far, the claim is that Ninja Theory is
Looking for a
closing
buyer.
down. Well, no, they're closing down now because the showcase, they showed Senua, which was their newest game, which is not coming out anytime soon. Okay. It was shown because they wanted to entice the investors
To buy them.
Okay.
I'm gonna buy them.
to buy someone to buy them. Apparently, they didn't find a buyer. So Ninja Theory is shit out of luck and they're going to get closed down, right? Compulsion is south of midnight. They're up for trying to break free, okay? Because Microsoft does give people options to, they're independent companies within the thing, and they can buy themselves out of the contract, sort of like Bungie did back in the day. But they lose IPs and stuff, right? I don't know what it is for each person. Maybe they keep South of Midnight franchise. Maybe Microsoft keeps it, whatever. But they're looking to break off. Double Fine's looking to break off to find other investors and stuff like that. Obviously, Toys for Bob did this with Activision type stuff, and they still make games for Activision and whatnot, right? So these are three big things. Everyone's like, oh, it's a bloodbath, whatever. Look, you can go look at the sales numbers on Steam with people playing it. You can take every single game that they've made. There's like 6 to 8 games made, and even through Redfall in there with Arcane Studios, and I'll take that one out. These studios have made, I think it's like 8 games total between all three of them, okay? And none of them were profitable. There's not enough people buying these games to be profitable, right? So the problem with this is that they have to let these guys go. It's smart to let them go because if they keep them, they're just burning money, right? So if they can find a buyer or the investor and let these guys go, then these studios are fine. They don't really lose their jobs. They lose their, sugar bucks over here, daddy war bucks over here with Microsoft. But Double Fine will go on, find another investor, and continue making the games they make. And they'll probably have deals with Game Pass where they put their game on Game Pass, but they also will be putting their games on other platforms as well. Okay, so it's interesting to see what's going to happen with all these layoffs that are happening, right? So now there's rumors about ZeniMax losing people. There's these 3 studios. There's other studios on the chopping block as well. Obviously, every Thursday when we're here, we're going to always report on what's happening here. But this is a major problem with Xbox. They have to clean house. Otherwise, they're just burning money. And like Sony's getting rid of half of Bungie because the burn rate, they have to get rid of, because I don't know what do we know the total amount of devs for all 3 of these studios? I would say it's less than what Bungie has.
They're smaller
total.
studios. Like
I think
studios.
I think Bungie has 800 employees now. I think these 3 studios have less than that. So let me see what you guys are saying here. Michael Gravy says, I want to know the 100 billion Satya is counting the Activision deal along with all the other deals because he's mad he footed the bill and never got a return. It's only way of maths. Yeah, but how can you ask for an investment back 3 years when you spent $70 billion? Okay. What they're also not accounting for is that they weren't making any money off of Call of Duty and all the games before, right? And now when they bought Activision Blizzard, they were now making the money from World of Warcraft, from Candy Crush, from Call of Duty. So yes, Call of Duty sold less copies this year. But before, Microsoft didn't make any money from the sales of Call of Duty besides their small percentage. Now they're getting a bigger percentage and they got less sales, but they still make that. No one reports on that. There's like, oh yeah, it was a failure, but Microsoft still made money off of that because they didn't take any copies sold last time, and now they're getting all copies sold and they get 70% instead of the 30%, right? So it doesn't make sense. That there's a lot of accounting going on in these companies that they don't tell you stuff, and they don't report it on purpose because then they couldn't move stuff around and tell you what you want to hear or what you don't want to hear. This is why they tell you about players. Jason Schreier in his video today said one thing in the beginning, and I've said this for years. If a company's making money, they will scream from the hilltops, right? If they sell a game well, they will scream from the hilltops saying, we sold 5 million copies, 7 million copies, 20 million copies. When they don't tell you the sales, the game is not selling well. They tell you about players to manipulate because they don't want to be liars. They don't want to tell you they sold 20 million copies. They'll tell you 20 million players or hours because they don't want to lie to you, even though they are lying to you. They're trying to make the persona of it's more successful than it is, because if they can tell you that 20 million people are playing it, okay, then it sounds like sales. And they're like, oh, well, I'm going to buy that game because 20 other million people bought the game. No, they didn't buy it. They played it and put it down 3 seconds later because the game wasn't good. Right. That's why when you look at sales of 3.3, 2 million, 1.5 million, and they're like, oh, yeah, people that love the game are like, yeah, it's selling like hotcakes. And the company's like, we have 1.5 million players. It's like, yeah, it sold like 200 million copies or 200,000 copies. Right. But they'll tell you the bigger number because it sounds better than the smaller number of the actual sales.
Yeah. But in my mind, the only way you would buy Activision for $70 billion, first of all, you're not even making your money back in 5 to 7 years.
No, they're making $3 billion back on mobile alone.
Yes, but that is my next statement. They would have had to seen on paper that between microtransactions and mobile market gaming through Activision, that money would come back quicker. And I don't think it has. Because otherwise, listen, a normal business, when you buy out a business or you buy out a piece of a company for an investment to build your company up, you're looking between 5 and 7 years. Okay. 5 and 7 years is about right for making your money back that you paid out. So if Activision average was about $7 billion a year annually, right? Now that means everything, bro. 7 billion means everything, mobile and everything. So if I add 7 billion for 7 to 10 years, that's nowhere near the return on investment that you spent for Activision. So what exactly were you going for? What exactly was going to happen in Activision that you were going to make back that $70 billion with whipped cream on top? How?
Right.
How?
Real quick, what you're saying here, Michael, is Phil sold Satya on the notion that it could be Netflix of games, and he failed. I'll push back on this. When did the first party title games start to show up on Xbox this generation? It wasn't right away. It was third party games that they put out there, right? And older games that they put on there. The first party title games that we were waiting for didn't come out till like year 3 and 4. And then they started putting, which is only about 4 a year because they do about 1 a quarter. Okay. So that the amount of time that they had to show, which they showed, was profitable. Now, I would say that Satya Nadella wasn't happy because we hear, because I know you're new in the channel and this is the first time you're talking, we call it the corporate salute, right? When the corporate salute goes up, it has to keep going up, right? And if Satya Nadella was making, let's say they were making, I don't know, $5 million a month off Game Pass, which is profitable, but Satya wanted to make 50 million. So it would be a failure. Even though it's profitable, it's not profitable enough. It didn't do the corporate salute. So if it doesn't do the corporate salute, it's not enough. Now, he spent $70 billion to bring Activision in, to use Activision to entice more people to come to Game Pass. But it took him 2 years to do anything with Activision's titles to put it on Game Pass. They hurt themselves. Again, the rake hits them in the face, and they don't do anything with the titles that they have for Activision. They just started putting stuff in for Activision. Okay. And once it failed, they're like, oh, pull it off. They don't know. They don't have a plan. They're literally throwing pasta at the wall and seeing what sticks because they keep moving it. They don't give it enough time to invest in anything. They're like, oh, we didn't make enough money there. Corporate salute didn't make it, right? It's a failure. We wanted to make 50 million. It made 5 million. It's a failure. Even though it was profitable, it wasn't profitable enough. That's not Phil's failure. That's Satya's failure and Microsoft's failure for not doing it correctly, which is upper management, which we talk about all the time. Upper management. I'm not here protecting Phil. I'm just letting you know they don't give it enough time to do anything. Okay. And to come out and say, Satya says that Xbox has not been profitable for 25 years or not sustainable is what he said. Okay. For 25 years is absurd. because they literally said that it was profitable. Yeah, but let's be honest. 100 million subs. What did Battlefield say? What did EA say they wanted Battlefield 6 to have? They wanted 100 million players. 100 million players. Let's see how that worked out for Battlefield.
You
Right?
can't
100 million players.
You can't get 100 million player subs because you don't even have 100 million consoles in circulation.
Exactly.
If
Right.
I add the X and the S's together, you're not even close to 100 million. So you expected everybody who owns a box to be on Game Pass? Like, that's absurd.
This is what corporations do.
That's
corporations
absurd.
say an absurd number, okay, and they're like, we want 100 million players. They didn't even get 100,000 or a million players, let alone 100 million players. Okay, it's absurd. This is the most successful game Battlefield has ever created. Battlefield 6 sold 20 million copies. It's the best. It's the best thing, and it's also dying. Okay, it's dying. It's dying on the vine because people bought into it, but they're not playing it because they're not happy with it. Okay, and they're going to fix it over the next 18, 24 months, and by that time, they've already ruined it for a lot of people because they're like, well, you told us the game was going to be
waiting
good.
for the next game. Right, well,
Right, but they're just
2042
waiting for
came
the next
out,
game.
and then 6 came out.
So this is just a small example of what corporations do. This is EA, right? Satya did the exact same thing with Game Pass and Microsoft, right? They said an absurd number, and they never had that. Disney did that with Disney Plus. They wanted so many subscribers for Disney Plus, an absurd number, which they never hit because not even Netflix hit that number, and Disney Plus was like, yeah, that's what we're projecting, and they didn't hit it, and it failed. All of them do the exact same thing. It's a trait. It's a trait with these corporations.
It underperformed. We set a number so ridiculous that nobody can hit it, and then we underperformed.
Let's see what else we got here. I'm gonna tell you some stats here, Sarge. Let's move over to Fortnite. Fortnite had their Unreal Engine stuff talking about, and they had some stats here with Disney as a brand might be dying in the movie industry and the television industry, but Disney skins are amongst the best selling ever inside of Fortnite. Okay, which kids don't play with toys anymore; they play Fortnite, right? And so I guess this is a good sign because kids know is Darth Vader is the guy from Fortnite. You know what I mean? Simpsons is coming into Reloaded this summer. Simpsons is also coming into the Unreal Engine Fortnite maker this year, so you can make like your own Simpsons games with inside Fortnite. Year. Yeah, Simpsons season had 80 million plus unique players, which is huge. I love that actual season. That was great. Simpsons season had 780 million hours played. Simpsons Fortnite animated short went #1 on Disney Plus in the US. 8 million plus unique players played the Star Wars Unreal Engine experience within the first 72 hours. And the Droid Tycoon, which we made fun of, and I played it afterwards, was the second most played experience in Fortnite in a week ever. Right, so more people played the droid stuff. So it looks like
look even there, the most popular thing ever being Fortnite, and they only had 80 million. Yeah. And you're boasting about 100 million. You're going to get 100 million people,
right?
100 million people are going to have Game Pass. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
So that's some.
Just come back to earth. Just come back to earth.
I want to watch a little video here. I think we have. Let me see. I'm gonna play it. Let me know if you guys have sound. Let me know if you can hear it, Sarge. Can you hear it?
No, it's all right though. Let it run.
Well, no, I need people to hear it. So
I thought it was on a separate channel. I'm sorry.
No. I'll have to open tab, Unreal Engine.
Michael, did you might want to look up this. There's a thing that Microsoft is looking at. The amount of profit that they can make from data centers opening from their own company, not from somebody else, from their own. You ready for this? Now, I want you to look it up because I don't want to think I made it up the number, right? But it's somewhere in the neighborhood of between 800 million and 1.2 billion dollars a month for the data center that Microsoft wants to invest in and open up themselves. Now, if that's the case, if you're talking about 800 million to $1 billion a month for a data center,
that's just from rent from people.
Do you think Microsoft gives a fucking damn about Xbox?
No, it's a loss.
Let's be honest. If you're really losing this much money and on the horizon is a way for your company to make between 800 million and 1.2 billion dollars a month, you think you're worried about video games anymore? Let's
Yeah,
be honest.
because well, they spent $70 billion, but they're getting $1 billion just from each month from servers, renting servers, right? So in 70 months,
I'll
they'll pay off
let
that.
let me say this before you hit play. Let me say this. I really hope, and I don't mean this vindictively, but I really hope that Xbox bows out and just stops making games. Honestly, and I'll tell you why. Because anything to remove the corpos out of gaming and let it go back down to individual dev teams making games again and having people build up communities and build up fanfare for their favorite brands is what we need, right? Let's remove the corpos from the equation, right? They've done enough damage, right? If Xbox really has lost money for 25 years and they want to get out and their golden goose is just around the corner for data centers, right? Let them go, right? Because if you think I'm worried that because Xbox disappears that we're not going to get games, you're sadly mistaken.
Yeah, I don't care. If Xbox goes away, somebody else will come up from it. Someone will make another system. Someone will make
somebody else will be there.
If Xbox just becomes a publisher like Sega did, that's just what
fine.
it is. All right, so this is the Unreal Engine talk here. It's 3 minutes 25 seconds. These are the highlights of stuff that's happening here.
Hey everyone, Unreal Engine 5.8 is here with a bunch of exciting new features to check out. Build larger, feature-rich worlds faster.
I don't know why that is.
Meet Mesh Terrain, a powerful new experimental system for building.
I don't know why it's blurry. Let me see if I can. There we go.
Complex 3D landscapes without height field limitations. Bring those landscapes to life.
Did you see how fast they're building the landscapes and stuff like that? Now, obviously, let's just talk about this for a second, Sergeant. I'll hit play again. If you're an environmental artist and you can make your artist like the basics, which would take them, let's say what that just took in 3 seconds, it used to take them 2 weeks, right? Now you've scaled it down to 3 minutes instead of 3 weeks. How is a game costing more? And how are they paying these people where they're going over budget over time?
Life with the procedural vegetation editor, which now enables you to create and import vegetation directly in Engine. Unlock new in-editor animation rigging workflows. With the expanded skeletal editor blend shape tools, it's now easier to create stylized characters in real time. Direct Mesh controls introduce a more intuitive animation workflow to manipulate characters directly through the mesh surface. And the new high-performance control rig dynamic solver gives you greater control over dynamic motion. Scale high-fidelity digital humans faster. Populate worlds with scalable crowds using the MetaHuman Crowd plugin, optimized across mobile, consoles, and high-end platforms. You can now capture full-body animation with a single camera using the MetaHuman.
You can now just take your phone and do motion capture, okay, and put it into here with just one camera. You don't need a whole room with like 360 cameras and stuff like that.
Right. Tell me in 5 years that we need corpos running the gaming industry.
You can literally
tell me we need that.
The people that are going to be making video games are going to be you and me. You know what I mean? Like just single 3 people, 5 people, small teams making outrageous games.
Human Animator Markerless Motion Capture plugin. Plus, the Mesh to MetaHuman workflow turns any mesh, including bodies, into a fully rigged, production-ready digital human. Create richly dynamic worlds with enhanced performance. Megalights is now production-ready, delivering higher visual fidelity and improved 60 FPS performance on current generation consoles. The new Lumen Light introduces optimized lighting for 60 FPS handhelds and low-end PCs. Fog screen space scattering brings softer, denser, and more natural-looking fog, smoke, and dust. Plus create anime, cartoon, and hand-drawn looks more easily with the new Toon shader.
Just this, and forget video games for a second. People making shorts and films just through this is going to change dramatically.
I mean, if under the right conditions, and I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, but under the conditions that's happening right now, if if the ease of AI in this sector of the industry works out, we will be in another golden age of gaming.
Yeah, but
Like that's how close we are.
the problem I see with stuff like this, okay, the same thing that happened in movies is happening with video games, right? Back in the day, the only people that could make movies were the people that had the gear, and the gear was very expensive to use.
I get
right?
it.
Over
But
time,
now everybody gets a chance.
correct.
So you have an influx of people all trying
Absolutely.
it out. Some people are going to do well. Some people are going to suck. And what happens
Correct.
after that? The cream rises to the crop,
Absolutely.
to the top, and you don't have to worry about the rest of it.
But the problem with this
happens.
is, no, I understand that, but we all have the same amount of time, and the problem is there's so much content being created from all different aspects, from just being shorts to a TikTok, YouTube, all the stuff, where everyone can do everything now, right? It's almost like playing a MMO where the in-game economy, where everyone can master everything, so nothing means anything, right? That's what's happening in the art space now with music, with movies, now with video games. AI, right, has made it where I can make music, okay? I'm not trying to make album hits here and
No,
be like
you're making spoof songs based on the industry
and different things for my stream, which makes it more entertaining, right? People can make video games now and make simple video games. They don't have to make 100-hour-long games. They can make what we used to make on their calculators back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying, but okay, so I understand they're going to be at first, there's going to be way too many people just trying it out to make video games.
You're not going to be able to get, you're not going to be able to be seen.
Tens of thousands. Right. Now, listen, here's the best part about it, though. Even though you might not be seen, you don't even need to be seen by that many people for you to make a profit.
Well,
because it's just you doing it.
Yeah.
So if you find
my channel is a perfect example.
If you find a couple thousand people that want to buy your game and you're able to make it at scale, you're going to do well. Now, if you get your payday, here's the difference now, bro, because not everybody's the same, right? If you have 10,000 people try it out, 1,000 people do well, 500 get the payday, right? Right now, they get the payday, meaning that they get like $500,000.
Well,
right? Now, hang on, they get the fire, but now they walk away.
Yeah,
they put that money in the bank. They go do something else. They're enjoying their life. They don't make that their living.
Correct.
They're going to go back.
It's the subsidization of their
time. Right.
Yeah.
So now the industry will sift them out.
Sure.
You're going to have people that one-hit wonders and they're gone. You don't get noticed enough. You're gone. You start collaborating with other people. You make something else, but it makes it the point I'm trying to make is it makes it communal, our own, not corpo.
Right.
It's not corpo. So now, even though you might not be noticed or you not making a lot of money, we're starting an industry from scratch,
right?
With the tools for individuals to do what corporations could do. So now you're bringing it back down to the plebes. So then the plebes, with their own work and imagination, can rise up from what they're doing, make money, put the money away, and better themselves and raise up the industry again.
Yeah.
Instead of corporations with a thumb on your neck that you're not allowed to do certain things because you haven't paid tribute to them.
Yeah.
The control goes back to us.
Yep.
To the low man on the top. That's what that's what we're hoping for. Yes, you're going to get a lot of crap. We have a lot of crap right now, bro.
Sure.
19,000 games a year. 19,000. Can anybody in this room tell me you've seen a third of that shit? You haven't.
You haven't even seen 1% of that shit. Yeah. Yeah. The funny part is, remember Second Life? Second Life, there was millionaires that became in Second Life because they knew how to code and they knew how to do stuff and they made stuff, right?
Yes.
There's been millionaires in Roblox for people like they said Epic paid out $1 billion. Right? Not to Epic anything, to the actual creators that have made stuff for Fortnite, they've paid out $1 billion. That's crazy. Okay. So let's continue here.
Made Unreal Engine workflows. With the experimental MCP plugin, you can connect your favorite models like Claude to Unreal Engine and automate asset creation.
Claude is an AI program. You can put code from Claude inside this program, and then it'll make the code and then put the fucking thing together for you.
Testing, and optimization. The plugin can access core UE systems such as blueprints, assets, levels, materials, meshes, and many more. Discover advances.
Look,
see how
just
fast
look at
that
that
was?
change.
You see how fast that was?
Yeah, look at that change, right? The code comes in, it puts the city together, then it does the 3D
plugin
rendition
can
of it, right? This is like playing Planet Coaster Tycoon and stuff, or City Skylines, right? Actually, it's faster because look where the road is and look where he wants to put it, and then look at
Access
the
core UE
adjustment.
systems such as blueprints, assets, levels, materials, meshes, and many.
That would probably take a team
a
of
month.
a team of 10 people a month to
Month.
do, and he did it in a minute of seconds.
Many more. Discover advances in cinematic and virtual production. LiveLink Hub is now production ready, bringing centralized controls, synchronized recording, and live multi-camera monitoring to motion capture. Accumulated depth of field delivers more cinematic film-style focus effects with cleaner visuals and faster rendering. Accelerate physics-based asset creation. Dataflow is now production ready with improved node-based tools for
Look at
faster physics and
Just
cloth
make the
workflows.
physics instantaneous.
It also streamlines chaos destruction with faster, non-destructive workflows for creating large-scale destruction effects. That's just a sample of what's new in UE 5.8. Check out the full release.
Do you remember when Battlefield Bad Company 2 introduced fully destructible environment, and it was a game changer, but it took really long time to do. And so much so after that, EA stopped putting fully destructible environments. They did partial destructible environments, right?
But that was still the best. That was still the
Right,
best.
and now look, you can literally just do anything that you want destruction wise.
And download it now on our website.
Right. So look, this is going to change the landscape, as we just had a conversation about. It's absolutely crazy, some of the stuff that and I find it funny because I watched that Asmongold video earlier talking about he watched Tim Sweeney talk, and Tim Sweeney, he was talking about well, here I'll bring up this, and he was talking about how they want to become like the heroes. Okay. So Tim Sweeney pitches Epic as a AAA gaming hero amidst Roadblock's massive everything verse. Okay. So Tim Sweeney likes to position himself into a way where they don't do things better than anybody. They just compete like against Steam. We'll talk about this, the update of the store page in a second. But Roblox is massive, and because of COVID, it became massive and stuff like that. And Tim Sweeney's late to the ballpark for this one, but he's trying to compete with. But he's trying to say like we're going to be the heroes because of what's happening. It's pretty cesspool of stuff that happens in Roblox, but a lot of people are using Roblox to make games and whatnot. So he comes in and he's like, we're going to be the heroes. Whereas Sweeney noted that traditional AAA gaming is at a time of both a crisis and opportunity, and outdated practices are flattering. He says, we're also often seeing hundreds of millions of dollars in development costs, followed by tens of millions in revenue. The development costs keep rising, and it feels like a tidal wave is sweeping over the AAA gaming business. Despite laying off 1,000 employees just this year, Sweeney says that Fortnite is thriving, and games are also in the position of dominating the marketplace. He says, quote, the other big change is that the economy is shifting from buying games to things in games. Whether you're a fan or not, it's undeniable. Sweeney continued by saying that the final threat is the competitive war of attention to Roadblocks is winning that. Sweeney says that the makers need to embrace Unreal Engine to survive. He says there are two big predictions for the future as the problems reverberate throughout the industry. One view of the future is that Roadblocks grows and eats gaming. A lot of people are saying that this online, you have to be this centralized platform with the game as keeper, and then takes more than 70% of the revenue and has 450 million users on the board. So that's a real challenge to the game developers. Sweeney continues, seeming to say that he wants Unreal Engine 6 to create the global ecosystem and steal the attention away from ecosystems like Roadblocks. And it isn't the first time Sweeney's. So he's saying that they're the bad guys, just like he did for Apple and Google and all the other people. He's like, we're the good guys, right? He's suing Steam. He's doing a whole bunch of stuff because he wants to be what they are. But he didn't want to put the effort in. He wants to do the bare minimum. He didn't want to bring up their thing to their level. He was just trying to shit on them to bring them down to his level. So I find it interesting that Sweeney, I do believe that Sweeney has good intentions, but I also think he's very awkward. Like you could hear him when he talks. He's not very, he's
an
like
engineer.
Elon Musk, but for the gaming world.
He's an engineer.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very successful.
I
Okay?
would rather an engineer talk about the gaming than have a suit talk about the gaming. Try to pretend he's an engineer.
100%. Right. So it is interesting though that he's like, these guys are the bad guys. We're the good guys because we're trying to help the little guy, even though the little guys are making money, but he doesn't like that there's 70%. You know, he doesn't like that effort. All right.
Well,
It's 10.
They can't make the money, bro. They have to make all the money. You know how this
They have
works.
to make all the money. Right. They have to make all the money. All right. We ran over, so we're going to go to Q&A. Okay. If you guys have a question, put a Q in front of your question. We'll mark it, and then we'll have Q&A in just a little bit. Let's see what other stories we can talk about while we're waiting for questions to be answered. There is a Fortnite store that they're bringing in, and they're making some changes. They're redesigning the storefront, Sarge. They're basically making the storefront finally after 9 years. Basically everything that Steam has, that's what they're finally doing.
Why take that long? Why?
Because he didn't want to compete, and now he knows he has to compete, I would assume.
Yeah, but why would he want to wait that long? You didn't even have a shopping cart. I don't understand.
Right.
Like,
you didn't have a shopping cart for like 2 years, 3 years.
So what, do you want to hire that guy to do it? What did the guy piss you off who wanted to make the shopping cart? Did he piss you off? He wanted too much money? Like, why would you wait so long to try to be competitive, try to shit on everybody for 10 years, and then finally give in and say you're going to compete? I don't get it.
I want to talk about Capcom real fast, just to put it out there. Capcom sold more games than any year in its history this past year. Just in 1 year, they sold more games than ever in the history of their.
What did Capcom release? The fighting games. What else came out?
Stuff. They had Resident Evil Requiem that came out.
Yep.
I don't know what else came out this year, but it says Capcom announced
quite a bit how it came out,
which ended the 31st of March, has sold more games than any other year in the history. The company released a well-received Resident Evil Requiem, which also went on to help Capcom sell more games than any other 12-month period. Capcom sold 59.07 million games during this business year, which is up from the previous year of 51.87 million. The Japanese company said 83.7% of the sales were from older catalog titles. And Capcom has also revealed that the staggering 93% of the games sold were digital downloads. So there you go.
Good for them, man. I'm glad Capcom's still around. I'm glad they're still around. And
then I want to talk about, this is a Fable story.
That's right, Mike. They are having a Capcom sale. I caught that on my Xbox a little earlier today. I thought Capcom's having a big sale.
So we watched the Fable gameplay last week, right? And we said two things, right? We watched, and the economy in the game I was like, what's happening with the economy in this game? I was very like, what's going on? And then other people were like, the NPCs look stupid, the ones that they fight at the end with the combat. So Playground Games came out and said, we hear you, right? It says, in this demo, the team played the story difficulty in a perfect for players who would rather not be chased halfway across the countryside by authenticating guards, okay? It says difficulties of the guards are also less polite and considerably sharper with their swords. In other words, players will be able to significantly increase the challenge level and choose to do so. Another aspect of the game that felt too easy was earning money. The player earned 18,000 gold by crafting a couple of swords in less than a minute of gameplay. Again, though, that was for the purpose of the demo. Playground confirmed. It says, if you're spotted rather generous blacksmith in the demo, our team sped things up for the padded purpose of the touch show of the system in live action or in action, given the time slot we had. Now, rest assured, when you arrive in Albion properly, you will have to put in some shifts to earn gold and start purchasing your own chosen property. Now, what I did say when we watched it, I said, first of all, if you're getting 18,000, you just do the thing for 1 hour in game, you'll be a millionaire and you can go buy whatever you want. Then you don't have to worry about ever doing it again. Okay. And we talked about it. Chat was like, well, maybe it was for the demo. And I said, if that's true, then they're going to make it super grindy. Right. And here it says you're going to have to put some shifts in to earn that gold to start purchasing stuff. Now, a house was like $34,000 or whatever it was. Okay. So if we watch that now, knowing that you're going to get very little money, okay, the economy has to represent what it is. So are they going to bring the prices down for certain things? Obviously, they might have been in a nice town and they raised the price and stuff like that. this is going to backfire in their faces, is what I'm saying, Sarge. Okay, because they showed 18,000, and obviously people were vocal about it, and now they're making an article about it to tell you, oh no, that was just a demo and stuff, so that's not how it's going to be in the game. But then when we get the game next year, and you go to the blacksmith, and what about they give you $18 instead of $18,000, right? And you got to put in like 6 hours of blacksmith weapon making before you can purchase something. People be like, this is fucking broke even more.
Yeah, but Fable always had a little absurd economy. You didn't have to work that great, and the more properties you bought, the more the money snowballed. So I don't think it's going to be a big problem, honestly.
I hope not.
I think maybe in the beginning, you learning the game, maybe you'll spend like 5 or 6 hours getting money, and then once you buy your first couple properties, they start making revenue, and the money just starts to snowball. I don't think it's going to be one of those grind fests, because if you listen, you want people playing your game and talking about how good your game is to other people so they play the game. You can't have systems in place where you're going to turn Fable into a grind fest. It's going to push people away. So it can't happen. But just put it that way. I'm sure the economy is not going to be like 1-to-1. Like, because I remember Fable to do a certain job to get it didn't take that long.
Yeah, well, it always takes
you had
a
to
little
do
bit,
something.
Yeah, because as you build up your money, it takes the time, and then you buy a house and you get the rent, and you get the business, you get the rent, and it starts to build up faster and faster for you. Obviously, I understand that, but that's the first thing I was like, that economy is broke if you're making that much money in the game. So I'm glad they showed it, but now they're going to overturn it, right? They're going to go from one left to all the way to the right, or I'm sorry, from the right all the way to the left to be like, oh yeah, you're only making like $18 or something. So to do what they made
1,000
in 5
jobs.
seconds, you're gonna have to do
1,000 jobs.
It's like 10 hours of making hammers and stuff. It would be fucking hilarious if that was it. All right, we got a couple of questions. You guys can keep putting questions in. It's time for Q&A. I'm sorry. It's time for Krebsy to ask questions. All right. I think our first question is not from Krebsy. Oh, nope. Just kidding. First question. How come it's not showing? What's happening here? It doesn't want to show it. Oh, there it goes. There's one. There it goes. All right. Krebsy says, with EA financially introducing EA advertising, which takes brands and injects them into their games, what brand will be first in line? I mean, it's going to be sports games.
Sports games, probably.
Oh, you're saying what brand, though? You're saying what brand? Because it's sports games, it'll be like Adidas,
drinks,
Nike,
footwear,
Gatorade, like stuff like that, I think. Maybe Visa. Could be Visa or like MasterCard, one of those things, American Express. It all depends on, it could be all of them, because they could region or the algorithm knows how old you are, and they can make the advertisement based on, so they could have multiple advertisements pushed out at the exact same time, and only certain people see certain things, and they can charge the client, more money.
I think because
direct marketing.
Well, right. I think because of what the information that they know, I think that the advertisements not only will be intrusive, but they will be definitely direct marketing for.
Well, they did say it was going to be not intrusive, right?
We'll
so
we'll
look,
see.
I said this earlier in the week when I brought this up. I think if it's in sports games, it's fine, because sports arenas and fields always had the advertisements in the background. That's not intrusive. You know what I mean? It's not disruptive in any way, shape, or form. If you're doing a car racing, the car racing on the side always had on the cars, on the on the walls and stuff like that. I don't want to be playing Battlefield 6, running through a torn down building, and there's an advertisement and it says Coca-Cola or Visa, MasterCard, and because that, based on whatever time frame we're in, it could be immersion breaking. I'm being serious. It breaks the immersion of it. So hopefully they don't put it in games like that. If they're going to put it in the sports games, I think you're fine with the sports games. They've been doing sports games. 2K has been doing it for years, putting advertisements in games and stuff like that. I even think the old FIFA games back in the day had sports advertisements on the boards and stuff as they rolled up, just like they did in real life. So, but yeah, one of those brands will be it. The next question is, Altern says, do you think there's hope for Helldivers 2? I want to say yes, but after watching that video today, I'm going to say no.
They can't leave it alone.
They can't get out of their own way.
They can't. Uncle Sony wants them to do what they want them to do. As soon as it was making money and fun, they had to put their foot in it. They couldn't leave it alone, and now they're just trying to play catch up. Once you fuck around with the chemistry of a game, people don't come back. There's other stuff. Listen, there is always something else to play. No matter how fun it is, no matter how your buddies, you guys are having fun with it, you keep fucking with the chemistry. You keep putting pain points in the way of the consumer, and the consumer just says, "I'll just play something else." It's easy. I got plenty of choices. I'll just play something else.
Next question, Jesse Mack says, how does Elder Scrolls 6 will be profitable better than Skyrim looking at Xbox? Not exclusively, and it does have exclusive only Xbox, it seems, and Xbox will be the shitter if they're not capable.
That game doesn't have a prayer in hell to be ready before you, my friend,
2030.
Are probably getting ready to have your second or third kid. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's, you guys think that Elder Scrolls is going to come out and it's going to be like the new dawn of a new age. I got news for you. Those people don't work there anymore. The people that work there brought you Starfield, right? That's the people who work there. Yeah. So I don't know what kind of magic you think is going to happen in the next 6 years that you think we're going to go from Starfield to Uber Skyrim. No,
you know it's funny. We're going to see, because I would say Elder Scrolls not as popular as Grand Theft Auto, but in the gaming realm, people are really excited for Elder Scrolls 6, right? So after Grand Theft Auto comes out this year, and it's just gonna shatter things. Next up after Grand Theft Auto 6 would be Elder Scrolls 6. That would be the next big generational game that you would be excited for, right? That's like an old property coming into this next generation.
Fallout 5.
It's not going to come anywhere close to what Grand Theft Auto is doing. You know what I'm saying? It's going to fall flat just like all the other games have. Bethesda hypes it up, but then it just falls flat.
But the rumor with some facts backing it up is they just started working full production. If you just started working full production for Elder Scrolls 6, we're looking at 7 years, bro.
Yeah. Yep. 5 to 7. Yeah.
I'll almost be retired.
Well, you'll have plenty of time to play the game then, Sarge. Krabsy says, did you see the Stop Killing Games thing in Europe ran into a wall that will begin legislation got denied? I did not see any of that.
Yeah, that's because the studios that are there started greasing the palms of some of the politicians. There's a little bit of a roadblock. Nobody panic yet. Nobody panic. They still have to fight it out in discussions and in court about what is ownership. Don't worry, right? When it comes time for you to back something up and you see some stuff going on, make sure you back it up. Make sure you're calling the right people. Make sure you're donating to the right special interest groups here, because this means something. The ownership of your game means something. It's not just whatever, right? Because if you ignore this, the dream landscape for them is you don't own a hardware. You pay them a monthly fee of $100 a month to have limited time on a game, right? That you get to play. Like, you only have 100 hours a month to play with your fee because you can't afford the hardware or the game. So you're just giving them money every month. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Krebsy says, do you find it ironic gaming is booming with lots of great games coming? September, packed, GTA 6, but then studios are on fire like Xbox, Bungie, etc. Well, here's the thing. As Sarge said,
you don't care about those 5,000 plus games that you don't know about, right?
Yeah.
We're just sprinkling in a couple of the studios that you actually do know about inside the 5,000 that you don't care about.
In the beginning of the show, I showed you 3 games, right? I showed you the librarian game, the restoration game, and the Western game, right? California, right? One's not out yet, right? One's out, which is the librarian game, small little game, right? We're not asking for 100 hours or stuff like that, but it's a game someone created and people will play it, right? Time is time. Someone made the restoration game. Someone made that game, right? The Legend of California game is in early access, and then when it comes out to beta and when it comes out to whatever, right? That's another game. I played those games, right? Someone else is playing another game that I've never heard of, right? There are so many games that people can play from all different shapes and sizes and different things that you want to play. We do not need AAA games that cost $400 million that ask me for $80. We do not need a $800 console box to play these games, right? I can play a game on my cell phone. I can play a game on my TV. I can stream a game from the computer, from a cloud if I have correct internet services, right? We do not need the AAA gaming space. When they say buy 1 or 2 games, they're talking about 1 to 2 games of AAA games. Okay. Grand Theft Auto is one, Call of Duty is the other. No one else is buying any game that comes out after this past the rest of the year, right? Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto. That's what most people are buying on PlayStation. That's what they buy. 70% of people buy Call of Duty on PlayStation, and everyone's going to buy Grand Theft Auto when it comes out, right? Because 45 million people are potentially going to buy it before day one.
Well, this will be easy because we know how many Xbox Series X and S's there are, and we know how many PlayStations there are. We just put that number on the screen, right? We say, what is it? What's like 130 million? What is it?
It's 93 million and then 28 million. So we got like
115, 120 something million, right? So we're gonna put 120 million on the screen, and after the first week, we're gonna see how many people own. We're gonna see how many people own Grand Theft Auto, and that'll give you the percentage of people on console who own it, who have it. It's gonna be crazy. We're gonna see. We'll see.
Altern says, what do you think should be Bungie's next Destiny game? A story single-player game, a PvE co-op game, or a looter shooter, or a hero shooter? I vote for the single-player.
It'll be a single-player story game about the original guys.
Yeah, I think it should be a single-player game, but I do see the appeal to a PvE co-op. I don't think it'll be a looter shooter.
Well, you'll find guns inside the game, but it won't be like a looter shooter.
The hero shooter, like a Overwatch, but with the Destiny characters, that could be interesting, right? Because they probably want to make something quick. The story game would take a while because of cutscenes and stuff like that. A hero shooter would probably take the fastest turnaround time. It could probably take 2 years, and they could put it out there, and they could even put it out in early access to get feedback and stuff. So that might be a thing. But again, I don't think they're going to do a hero shooter. But that would be interesting if they did. Altern says, which Epic adding AI to make games would you take a shot to make your own board game into digital with help of AI? 1,000%. I've already thought about it.
I think after it comes out and it's stable, we can actually use it. He could probably knock out the game probably in 1 day.
Honestly,
you'll put the prompts in for what actually you want to happen, and it would be. So
actually, there is. I did put. There's a board game. I think it's called Tabletop Gaming, whatever, on PC. Way back in the day, I imported all of our files and stuff that I created for our board game and put it in there so people could play, but I never finished it, right? And I was doing that and uploading it one by one. If I could make my board game in a Unreal Engine and people can play it, I would 100% do that. 100%. If it took me time, it took me 6 months. If it took me a year by myself to do it,
I don't even think it would take you.
No. But what I'm saying is, if it took me a year to do it, I would do it. If I knew I could do it and make a game possible, I would 100% do it. Michael Gravy says, did you know when was that Cass texting before I was also doing the dishes? So it got messy. I didn't know that.
I mean, did he drop his phone in the sink?
Very talented if you could do dishes and type. I hate when that happens because I do that. I do dishes and I have a video playing and my hands were wet and I'm like, oh, it's over. And I try to tap the screen to like go to the next video or whatever. And it doesn't respond because there's water on your finger and you're like, so you're like picking it up and you're like trying to use the tip of your nose and stuff like that. Yeah. I've been there.
Sounds like a crisis.
Alter says, do you think it's justified that Sony fires 50% of Bungie? Or do you think they're exaggerating? No, I think it's 50%.
The answer is yes and no. That's the answers. Yes to the first part, no to the second one.
Yeah, I don't think it's an exaggeration. Yeah, I think
you're either working on something or you're not. And if Sony knows anything, they know Bungie's burn rate. 100% know their burn rate.
Michael Gravy says, question. what is that? Your finger. You're typing again with the.
The wet
Is that
finger.
Is EA
Wasn't it EA
wanted
that
to sell?
wanted
Yes,
to sell bullets
yes.
in a game?
EA wanted
No.
to.
They said that if they did, you would buy them.
Yeah,
That's
they
what
said.
that's what the CEO said. He goes, if we charge you for bullets, you would buy them. Is
Did
what
he say that?
said.
I thought he said he wanted to put it where they could charge.
No, he didn't say he wanted to. He said if we did, you would buy them.
Yeah,
is
but
what he
your
said.
your question, yes, it was EA. Yes, it was EA.
Yes.
Jesse Mack says if Playground Games should make Fable 4, if everyone didn't like it when whatever to Fable 4, it's will make it or break it. Well, they've had other Fable games that failed and burned before. They had that co-op game that didn't come out that they canceled. I don't know if this is make or break for the Fable franchise. I'll be honest with you. I think when Fable comes out, I think people will like it. I also think they'll get a lot of shit for it because people won't like it because it's not the old Fable type of stuff. But I would look at it as if it comes out and it's just an okay game coming from a company that never made a game like that before, I would say that's a big win for Playground Games. It might not be a big win for Microsoft in general because it might not sell enough game copies, but for a company to make a car game and car series, and that's all they've ever done, and now they're making a action adventure game, and it comes out and it's pretty damn good. I would say that's a win for the studio, not a win for Microsoft, right? What do you think, Sarge?
I dislike the fact that they're gambling on the new Fable game with people that don't know how to make a Fable game. And I think if it doesn't go over well, that's the end of Fable.
Okay. I'll put this up here because this is funny. Because you're new to the channel, you'll know I fuck up everyone's name, so that's by design. But did you know it's Garvey? I do now, but it's too late. It's too late.
It's too late. You're gravy now, Mike.
You're gravy now. Eric Jones says, "Did you know Sarge watched UFC Freedom 250? If so, what did you think of the event?"
I can't say what I want to say. We can talk about it in Discord, Eric. I'll just say this. Fantastic. The fight was fantastic. The after-fight speech was fantastic. The entryway to get to the ring was fantastic. Only in America where we put a deranged lunatic fighter with the shit talk of Randy Savage next to a 102-year-old war veteran and roll them out together. Right? That's America. Right? Real hero, D-Day veteran, crazy lunatic UFC fighter. Loved it. Loved it.
Well, I watched the highlights.
100% American. 100%.
The last question we got is a clip says, "I have this shirt on that says the plan's the plan until it's not the plan. Where did I get that shirt?" You got that shirt from our store down below. If I was wearing it, it is a very comfortable shirt. I got the V-neck T-shirt Eclipse, which like the crew cut. Like I like shirts. I don't like the up on me. So but they're very comfortable. Like I got the jersey knit, and it's very comfortable. So check it out. We also have the no pre-order, no day one, no full price for a half-ass game. You can also pick that up as well. I'm thinking about redesigning a lot of stuff, and we're trying to come up with a shirt idea for the 500th episode that you guys, if you guys want to pick up, you can help us out with that as well. I don't do the advertisement of stuff on the show very well. I don't sell myself enough. You know what I mean? Krebsy says, so did you watch the GTA 6 pre-order trailer? Did you see the bisexual lighting? Do you like dick now? I didn't really think about it. Maybe I do. I don't know.
Just my own, Krebsy. Just my own.
So, Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. If you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're here Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can watch the past broadcasts. I haven't uploaded 10 episodes on Spotify, so we're way behind because I'm just a slacker. And like I said, I don't really sell myself very much. What's it called? 493 in the can. We're closing in on that 500th episode. It'll probably be I want to say like the first week, because I'm probably going to miss 1 week.
So wait, what number are we on now?
493.
So 7 more.
Yeah, 7 more, but we're missing a week. So 8 weeks, basically. Because I'll be missing an episode. I'll be missing one more episode. I don't know when yet.
Like the first week in August?
Yeah, it's like the first. Yeah, it's probably the last week of July or first week of August.
Oh, that's perfect. There's no holidays in August. We'll make it a big thing.
What is the?
I'll dress up. I'll dress up and everything. It'll be a big thing.
Well, we got guests coming on. We're trying to. I have to figure it out. I don't know if I want to do like a reminiscent show and not actually talk about the news, or if we just have the guest panel with us and we just all.
Oh no, you have to use the bazooka. You have to talk about shit. You have the people on. We got to talk about some shit. You don't have to do the reminiscing thing. We can reminisce on our own time.
Well, it is going to be a longer show. So it's going to be a longer show. It's the 500th show, so it's going to be longer. We usually do about 2.5. We might do 3.5. I don't know, because it's a 500th episode. It might be the last one. Who knows? I might say fuck it and I'm done, and just be like, go out at 500. It's a nice round number, right? Who knows? Appreciate it very much. You guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you guys on the next one. If you guys want to watch the morning show, we do it on Daily Grind, Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. It's just myself. We do gaming on the evenings on Monday and Tuesday. I do Fake Wizard News on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. over on his Fake Wizard News Live. And then we do this podcast on Thursday nights, Generation X Gaming. And I do have another podcast called Chatting with 30, but we don't have a guest lined up, and it's been over a year. So, but you can go watch those past broadcasts, buy a shirt, buy a mug, listen to our songs. You can download the music off of Spotify, 30NSG, lots of stuff. I appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, and night. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good weekend.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X Gaming Show.